Hopefully everything is working well. All praise to God. Welcome to another episode of people trying to prove that the Quran is insufficient. We're going to explore a few more arguments and counter arguments to those that claim that they follow the Quran, yet they cannot find in themselves the ability to actually prove that the Quran is sufficient, because they've always wanted to allude to other documentations, other things that they've given authority to, that of course God has not given the authority to. So peace, everyone. I appreciate you guys coming along. And of course, these debates, these quick debates, are going to be streamed on TikTok. That's where people can join. I am streaming as well on YouTube. I did work a little bit on my computer. I am still on the road. Peace, everybody. I'm still on the road, and therefore I'm not using my better suited equipment, but I pray to God that this is going to work well. Peace, Sheikh, Pascal, Atif, Kiana, Ahmed, Turks, peace, Turkey, peace, Yaqub, nice, Abdullahi, Bionodes, Bedouin, all my brothers and sisters. Appreciate you coming by, and those who have yet to embrace the real religion of God, the religion that preaches submission, for you to submit to your Lord, the one that created all that you see in front of you and what you don't see, the apparent and the hidden, and the Lord that is the King, the Master, the Lord of all. When you submit to Him and understand that there is a certain way for you to live in that submission, you will really be able to open the doors to this world and the hereafter for you to really experience a life that is worthy of living, as God clearly promises that in the Quran, that those that submit and believe, He's going to give them a good life here in the world and the hereafter, despite how they die or live truly. But they will be in a pleasing way, and it's truly a mentality. When you submit to God, you are capable of analyzing your thoughts and rearranging your thoughts and reprogramming yourself to align to what God told us is the best, the most upright, the straight path. This is what God has guided us to, and this is where you get guided if you are a person that turns to God. And if you are an oppressor, if you're an arrogant, if you're not capable of listening, if you're sealed, then you're going to have problems finding that straight path, that path that gives you proper peace in the world and the hereafter. And this is what these episodes are designed to do, to truly make you see who is a person who's capable of listening, following, understanding an argument and answering the argument for what needs to be answered, while who is sealed, unfortunately not capable of hearing, not capable of pondering and listening, turning to God when they need to turn to God. You start to meet people that say that they believe in the Quran, that they believe in the book that the blessed Prophet Muhammad received, yet they're unable to quote the book, yet alone bring it into the context of the conversation. We're going to hear a lot of emotional arguments and a lot of people that are going to present to us an idea on why their way is right, which when their way doesn't align with what God said. So without further ado, I'm going to start this episode, and we are about to go live on TikTok. Pray to my Lord that it stays well. May God accept the best that we do. Okay, here we go. Boom. Go live on TikTok. Quran is sufficient. So, on the TikTok screen, I have put the sign, was Muhammad a Sunni or a Shi'i? So they're going to have to prove to me why they do what they do when the Prophet did not do what they did. And that is something that's very important for us to reflect and ponder upon. Because if we are not capable of following the Prophet as the Prophet was, then what's the point of you quoting verses in the Quran telling me that you were ordered to follow the Prophet? Peace, Halal. It's nice seeing you, my good brother. Peace, everyone. Welcome to another stream for Sunnis and Shias to have the opportunity to prove to me why their religion is right. Salam, little homie. Halal. More from God. Fortunately, they just they do their parts, but all good. It is what it is. I appreciate everyone that's coming by. So, the Quran in its own is 100% sufficient for you to understand who God is in regards to who you are as a human being. Of course, God is capable of designing any reality that He wants to manifest in front of you. But He, in His wisdom and His power and His might, He chose for the world to be the way that it is now. There's a clear test in it for us, for those that truly do fear their God in the unseen. Because if God willed, He could have made it very apparent of His existence, and He would have made it even more apparent of the day of judgment. And then people would not be who they are, truthfully, honestly. It is almost as if God has put you in a recess room or outside in a playground where you think that there is no administration or someone watching over you. And He is testing you to see if you are actually going to be a proper human being, or if you're one who's going to take advantage of the situation while you think that nobody's watching you. Because for us as human beings, we need this constant reminder that God is watching us for us to truly be guided. It is not something that is easy for the person that does not pray, that does not turn to God, and does not think about what God has said. Those people that do not place God's words above their own, they are the ones who are deluded. They forget that God is watching them, and they tend to be criminals. Of course, it's not in the criminal in a sense where we understand it as the courts here in the worldly life, but criminals in a sense where, sorry, this is where it's dropping. So yes, criminals in a sense where they are not adhering to what God has said, and therefore they transgress against others. They hurt others. They start saying things that they are not aware of about God specifically. They start to have these negative thoughts, negative emotions. They oppress themselves. They start to have things like racist remarks, misogynistic remarks. They have worldviews that do not align to what truly allows the humanity to strive. So this is something where we have to now reflect on why the system is the way that it is. And for us to truly understand how to get close to God, we must truly investigate the words that God has given us, the words that the prophets spoke to us in this blessed book that we know as the Quran. There were previous books that were sent with the same message, with the same understanding, with the same results as well. But to each, they have their own curriculum. I gotta see why this is still acting up. I think my computer is still not good enough for this. But we're back. So as I was saying that for people to really reflect upon what God has told us in the Quran, and these episodes are designed for you to see that how when you do apply the Quranic logic, when you apply the reasoning that God has given us in the Quran, it truly dominates over anybody that wants to so it truly shows that how this way of life dominates over any way that people want to present as a worldview or as a way for humanity to be. With that said, I am going to bring people up. How do you apply Sharia law with the Quran only? شرع لكم من الدين ما وصى به إبراهيم والذي أوحينا وما وصينا شرع لكم من الدين ما أوحى به نوحا والذي sorry, there's a verse where God says شرع لكم من الدين ما وصينا به إبراهيم. Sorry, I gotta bring up the verse. Subhanallah, right now I'm not remembering it. This is in chapter 29. No, not chapter 39, but astaghfirullah. Shura. Consultation. شرع لكم من الدين استغفر الله العظيم شرع لكم من الدين ما وصينا به نوحا والذي أوحينا إليك وما وصينا به إبراهيم وموسى وعيسى بن مريم أن أقيموا الدين ولا تتفرقوا به كبر على المشركين ما تدعوهم إليه. This is the verse that I had in mind, where God has Shara, He legislated to you in the religion that what we have inspired Noah, and what we have inspired you, or what we have commanded Noah, we have inspired you, and Abraham, and Moses, and Jesus, the son of Mary, to uphold the religion and to not divide in it. And that is such a big task for the polytheists or the idolaters. So this is where we clearly see that there is shara in the Quran. And of course, God is telling us in regards to people who want to transgress certain limits, their punishment. So if you think that the Sharia law is not present in the Quran, you clearly have an argument against the Quran, not against yourself. So let me bring people up. Let's see, Masur. No.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello, how are you?
How's it going? I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm a Sunni. I have some questions about the Quranists. I'm not here to debate or argue. I just want to know what you believe in,
Okay.
if that's fine.
Sure, but you're the one who's calling me a Quranist, so.
No, what are you then?
I'm a Muslim. Are you other than that?
No, I'm a Muslim. Okay, but you follow the Quran only, okay?
Yes,
Right?
exactly. I follow the Quran alone. Yes.
Okay.
Were we commanded to follow other than the Quran in regards to following the Prophet?
Yeah, but like I said, I don't want to debate. I just want to ask you some questions.
I understand. You want to ask a question, think that you have a point, and then run away. I get it.
No,
But just
no point. It's
before,
not about.
Before we do that,
I
can I ask you
swear
a
to
very
God,
quick
I'm saying
question?
wallah.
I understand. We'll see. Well, I can sense your sincerity soon. But my question is, do you think that the Prophet followed other than the Quran?
What do you mean?
Did the Prophet follow?
I'm telling you, I don't want to argue with you about that. I really want to know about what you believe in. I swear to God.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so what we believe is something that's extremely
You are
simple.
lagging.
Yes, I see that. Just give me 1 second.
I did not hear you. You was lagging.
So what we believe is something that's extremely, incredibly simple. Is we use the argument of the Quran. The Quran says that it's complete, that it's detailed in knowledge, that God has not left anything outside of the book, that this Quran guides to the straight path, that this Quran has everything that you need for your guidance. And these are the verses of God we recite to you in truth. So in what hadith after God and his verses do they believe? This is the position that we hold. So there is no religious authority outside of the Quran. Religious authority is the one that dictates to you what is the reality that's in front of you and what you need to do as a human being, guidance for you to get, in a good position on the day of judgment, for you to find the paradise that God has promised us through the messenger. Anyone who's judging outside of what God has given us, God calls those zalimun, oppressors. He calls them fasiqun. These are people who have segregated or split themselves from the commands of God. God calls them kafirun, ungrateful or disbelievers. So this is where the position is. There is no religious authority outside of the Quran.
I understand. I really wonder. I swear to God, I'm not insincere. I really want to know, and not to learn, but I just want to see what you believe in. Because I understand, but in some other things, it's not necessarily about you being Quran only.
That's what you asked about.
No, but there are, I want to know your explanation on some things.
Such as?
For example, where do you believe Allah is?
Where is Allah? Allah's everywhere.
Yeah. How do you interpret it when Allah says He is over the throne?
Allah doesn't say He's over the throne. He says istawa ala al-arsh.
Yeah, He rose over the throne.
Istawa ala al-arsh. What does that istawa mean?
Rising.
No, it means He took control over.
No, it doesn't. But
yes, it does.
Okay.
So God says, وَإِذَا اسْتَوَيْتُمْ عَلَيْهَا, right? فاذكروا نعمة الله وقولوا الحمد لله الذي سخر لنا هذا وما كنا له مقرنين. So God uses the word istawa, that when you are on these animals that you're capable of maneuvering, right? Then at that point you have to remember the Lord that has allowed you and given you that. Now I have a very simple question for you to answer yourself. Was there a arsh before the creation of the world? In 6 days, before the 6 days, was there a arsh that God was sitting on?
What do you mean? No, He was not.
So there was no
He has
arsh
not
before the
always
creation.
He has not always been sitting on the arsh, no.
So perfect. The arsh is a creation. So arsh is a concept where God has created, and then istawa means he took control over it. So this world here, it needs a
But
Lord.
do you believe Allah is in the toilet?
Brother, Allah is everywhere where you're gonna go. It does not mean he's physically here present with you. When you're talking
that
to you,
was what I mean by his essence. يعني, do you
in his
believe he's
essence,
everywhere in his essence?
am I with you? Are you with me right now? Or am I with you?
I'm
right
with
now?
you, but you don't
Okay,
understand
so,
why
but
I
I'm not
come up
physic-
here. يعني,
I'm
this
not
guy.
physically there. I'm not physically there. So if I am with you right now, that means I am in your presence, yet I am not with you physically.
Yeah,
so when
I
God
understand.
says that he's here, he is here with us and he can answer your call. So when you're in the toilet and you say, God help me from some loser, God hears you and God can answer you. It doesn't mean that God is sitting in the toilet. It means God's presence is there. So when you're going to say that if is God, where is he? He has encompassed everything and he is everywhere. He is outside of space and time, yet he himself has encompassed space and time. And space is infinite and time is infinite. And therefore, at the beginning of time, which there is no beginning of time, God existed. So time is essentially a component of God, because time is a step of measuring what things have changed from one time frame to another. While space,
Can I
space
just
is
say something?
Exactly.
Can I just say something? I feel like you misunderstood why I come up here, wallah.
No,
And
I
if I
don't think I
wanted to
did.
debate you,
If I wanted,
wait,
I
one
think you're
second.
not a sincere person, because every time you say something, you're having a smirk on your face. I can hear your
No,
smirk.
I'm laughing because you're يعني, you're behaving very, I don't
Behaving
know how to
what?
say it. And you're behaving very weird.
So when somebody asks me
Wait,
if
I
God
told
is in the
you, wait.
toilet, if someone asks me if God is in the toilet, is that somebody who's sincere, who fears his
I
God?
wanted to know what you mean by Allah is everywhere.
Yes. So your question there,
Okay, and now I understand what you mean. Okay, I have one more question.
But just one question. If someone comes to you and he asks you if God is in the toilet, is that somebody who fears God? Or is that somebody trying to make fun?
Maybe he's sincere. I don't know. Okay, I have one more question, then I'll leave because well, I don't even want to speak to you no more. But I have one last thing. I saw a video of you when you said that even if the Prophet says something and you know it's from him, you don't have to accept it.
Yes, in this day and age, it's not something that is binding to you. If the Prophet 100% said to Aisha, make me a chicken sandwich, is that binding to me?
No, but if he said يعني, a ruling or something similar,
he does not have that authority.
But Allah says Allah says take from the Prophet whatever he gives you.
Oh, وَمَا آتَاكُمُ الرَّسُولُ فَخُذُوهُ وَمَا نَهَاكُمْ عَنْهُ فَانْتَهُوا. Why don't you read the full verse?
Tell me.
Yeah, why
you're gonna say it's about the war.
Fay. Yeah, no, it's about the war bounty, correct. And that's what
Yeah,
Tabari
but
says,
it can
unless
be,
if you know more than your scholar.
No, it can be specific and still be applicable.
But that's not what your exegesis says. So that's for you making up your own interpretation that does not align with what God is saying. So for example, when
this
the Prophet
goes for a lot of things.
This
goes for a lot of things. For example, in Surah At-Tawbah,
I'm still talking.
Surah
So when the Prophet, when the Prophet tells his
29,
wife, when the Prophet tells his wife, according to you,
Allah
when the Prophet
tells him to fight against the non-believers. This is specific,
let me finish
but it can still be.
Yes, cool. So when the Prophet is telling you very clearly, I am muting you because I haven't finished my point and you're disrespecting yourself. So when God is telling you very clearly in the Quran that the Prophet, he forbade something from him and his wife, God said you're not allowed to do that. So it is not a general statement. Yeah, so you get cooked on your own words.
Okay, do you believe that all specific statements cannot be applied generally?
The generality is about the situation that is being actually addressed. So if God says, for example, Burika man fin nar, right? Blessed is who's in the fire. We cannot generally say that that's about the people in hellfire. It has a very specific content, okay? Or wailun lil musallin, for example. There again, it's saying like, woe to the people who pray. This again has a very specific context.
Okay, I have an example of this.
Yeah.
When Allah tells the believers in Surah At-Tawbah 29 to fight against the non-believers, it's in a specific situation, but it can still be applied generally.
No,
or what do you believe about that?
the situation has to match the example. So if there is an example, for example, that you have a covenant or a contract with some disbelievers and they renege on that contract and they start fighting you, then that verse gets applied, and then you have to fight them wherever you find them because they have already transgressed. So whatever God has explained to you in the Quran is applying. But when you're going to
Yeah.
tell me that God
But
has
then you can
specifically
apply the
talked
same
about,
thing. You can
No,
apply
it's
the same thing with war bounty. Because if
exactly.
the
So
Prophet,
anytime we're in a war bounty situation and there's something that needs to be split between people, the person who's in charge, which is the messenger, he gets to decide who gets who, because God tells you why in the verse, so that the rich people don't sit and circulate it among themselves,
yes,
and the
but
poor people
wouldn't
get
you
nothing.
follow the example of the Prophet in that then?
What's the example of the prophet there?
I don't know, you tell me.
Oh,
About,
okay.
no,
So
I'm
because
telling you
I'm gonna
about يعني when
guys, you just
when you're
cooked
in
yourself.
war.
Here, listen. So you're telling me
Okay,
very
tell me.
easily that this is a very general term that the prophet has the ability to legislate. So if I'm gonna follow the example of the
No, not
prophet,
fully. It's under
then
the
what?
will of Allah.
A will of Allah. So if it goes
Yeah,
against the will of Allah, does that mean that we follow the prophet or do we follow God?
it doesn't.
So according to you, the prophet has forbidden the wearing of red. Is that something that you think God has said?
You're lagging.
1 second.
You're lagging.
1 second. So, as I said, that
I
in your
cannot hear you.
hadith, 1 minute. As I was saying, that in your hadith, you say that the prophet forbid you from wearing red. Okay, so do you think that God has forbidden that, or do you think the prophet has forbidden that?
I believe that this is the Prophet that forbade it, but it is under the will of Allah.
So when God says that who has the right to forbid what God has made legal in regards to the clothing and decoration, the prophet can go outside of what God has commanded. He can go against the will of God. Excellent.
But when has this contradicted what Allah has said?
So God says that it's permissible. That's what I'm saying. That God has presented this decoration, and for us to bring this decoration to every mosque, both
Does
male
He
and
say
female.
specifically red is permissible?
He's saying all clothes is permissible.
But general statements can be amended by specific statements.
So perfect. So you're trying to tell me that there's conditions that are found outside of the Quran. So the Quran is giving you the generality, and then there's specific exceptions that are found outside of the Quran. Correct. So what about the hadith? What about the hadith when the Prophet says, according to you, "Man sharata shartan lam yujad fi kitabillah fahuwa batil." Whoever imposes a condition that is not found in the book of God, then it's falsehood or it's rejected. What's your take over there? Or unless you want to throw the Sahih hadith down the toilet.
It doesn't. But what is the context of this? Because you cannot apply this. Yani a hadith like that.
So there's no generality there. من شرط
What do you
شرطا
mean?
لم يوجد في كتاب الله. Whoever
Where's
imposes a
this hadith?
condition.
Where's this hadith?
If I show you this hadith that clearly states, whoever imposes a condition that is not found in the book of God, then it is batil. Do you realize that this is very clear and very general?
But this would contradict all the other hadiths, so it has to be concise in one way.
Welcome to your dilemma. Yes, you're very right. That hadith puts your religion lays it to waste. And when God says in the Quran, تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق فبأي حديث بعد الله وآياته يؤمنون. And these are the verses of God we recite to you in truth. And what hadith after God and his verses do they believe? That hadith kind of aligns with that, doesn't it?
But this hadith, يعني what is the يعني it includes the Sunnah.
Oh, okay. So Kitabullah means Sunnah as well?
Kitabullah points towards the Sunnah.
Kitabullah, when God says Kitabullah, no, God doesn't. When in your hadith book the word Kitabullah is mentioned, it means hadith and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah?
Can you repeat?
if if your messenger, Muhammad, in the hadith allegedly said the words Kitabullah, that means Quran and Sunnah?
No, what is your point? I don't understand. Yes,
I'm
what
saying to
Allah has
you,
stipulated,
when God's
what
saying, Man
Allah
shara,
has stipulated, when you can include, of course, there's hadith about this. There's
what?
one hadith, I think there was a woman who went to Ibn Mas'ud, and Ibn Mas'ud, I think he said, La'nat Allah on the one who tattoos or something like that. And she said, I have not found this anywhere in the Quran. But Ibn Mas'ud, she had memorized the whole Quran. Ibn Mas'ud, she told her, if you had really looked throughout the Quran, then you would have known that the Quran includes the Sunnah.
The Quran includes the Sunnah. So Bukhari, is that the Sahih Sunnah then?
What do you mean?
Is Sahih Bukhari, does that encapsulate the correct Sunnah?
There are Sahih hadiths in Sahih Bukhari, yes.
Okay, so Sahih al-Bukhari is a book of God then.
It's divinely inspired, yes.
So Bukhari is a messenger.
Oh my God, this guy. Bukhari is only the compiler. Listen.
The compiler of what?
You are running in circles now.
I'm not. You're the one who's running away. I'm not running in circles. So when God is talking about the book of God, right, it means Quran and Sunnah, right? So if the Sunnah is inspired by God, and therefore Bukhari collected the right Sunnah, right, the Sahih, and therefore the Bukhari's book
not
is
only
Kitab
Bukhari.
Allah. So Bukhari, no,
Bukhari.
This is so stupid. Let's just talk Bukhari.
This guy.
So this man.
Wait,
man
no. You have spoken enough. You have spoken enough, buddy.
But you haven't answered.
You have spoken enough now.
You're going to talk about there's multiple books of God.
I will answer you. I will answer you.
There's going to be multiple books of God.
Yeah. No, wait. I will answer you and then I'm done. If I compile the Quran, for example, does that mean that I am a messenger of Allah?
No, if you're going to
then apply the same thing with the Sunnah, because I'm only
One minute.
I'm only compiling what is divinely inspired.
The man who compiled the Quran was the messenger of God. The man who compiled the Quran. The man who compiled the Quran is the messenger of God, the blessed Prophet Muhammad. Okay, people copied the Quran from what he compiled. The person who complied Sahih Hadith is your losers, those idols that you like to worship. So this is a man who thinks that I got cooked because he said that the book of God includes regulations and conditions outside of the book of God. Yet he had to run away while he was screaming like a moron because he thought that he had any position to stand on. So that was very, 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 very good when this man goes, well, this hadith, it actually contradicts all of the hadiths. Exactly, buddy. I didn't even hit you with your favorite hadith, the one that's mutawatir. This is someone that many people narrated. Whoever writes about me other than the Quran should erase it, right? And whoever says a lie about me should prepare himself a place in hell. So do you think that the Prophet said to you that wearing the gold is haram? Or that eating lizards is haram? Or that wearing red is haram? Or that marriage and divorce is 3 times when the Quran says that it's twice? Do you think that the Prophet married a 6-year-old? Do you think that the Prophet said 90% of the nonsense that you guys attribute to him? So you're the one who's cooked, as you said it. That was easy. That man was pretty dumb. Okay, let me see. That was easy.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam.
How you doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm only Quran too. I'm as you, and I'm pleased, to see somebody who just talking about Quran. But I've been listening to you and that guy before me. Your conversation. It reminded me. Surah 7, verse 46. Like Allah say that, no, Surah 7, verse 45. Like Allah say, and when we recite the Quran, we put between you and those who do not believe in the hereafter a constant partition. And the verse after, Allah say that, and we have placed it over the whole covering, lest they understand. And in there is deafness, and when you mention your Lord alone in the Quran, they turn back in aversion.
Right. And there's the verse.
That's all.
The verse that I like to remember is the one in Luqman, where God says that when the verses are recited on him, the one that is arrogant, he moves on as if he didn't hear anything, like as if they didn't hear it. And that's what the man did. So when I said a few verses, he just doesn't sit and actually be scared that God said what he said. They just think that they have an argument. I'm not here to debate. I'm not here to argue. And this is how you know that they're lying. So he was a liar. It was very clear. But I appreciate you coming up, my brother. I'm trying to here open the dialogue with Sunnis and Shias to show that the Quran is not sufficient.
Okay,
so
bro. Have a good time. Have a good time.
May God bless you. May God increase you. May God forgive you as well. Thank you. You guess. Hello?
Yo, brother Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. What's going on?
MashaAllah. I've been watching your content, wallahi. I was just going to say, the patience you have with some of the people is amazing, wallahi. SubhanAllah.
Alhamdulillah. All praise to God.
It's clear that and the ayat of Allah that you're reciting to them, and it's like we're joking out here, you know.
That's what they do.
The most crazy thing is that like, we miss out on time when we're getting educated as well, you know. Like you're obviously, mashallah, you're spitting haqq, you know, and sometimes it's obviously hard for somebody to digest all that information, because as humans we want to hold on to some memory, so we think we're just beyond autopilot, you know. So when somebody brings you some haqq, like, I don't want to delete all that information and all that monotony and the autopilot that I was in, so I'll just be like a goof, you know.
Yeah, but
you know
that's the scary part. So there's a time in your life when you no longer have that ability to critically think on why you do things. You just becomes who you are, and the older you become, the more of that you are. So at the ages of 18, 20, 25, you still have that ability to modify your thinking, but it gets to an age where you can't. So this is where it's like you want to be, when you reach that age, that you have the right certainty and you're right on the right path, so that when the autopilot does kick in, you know what you're doing. So
but it's like sometimes when you're trying to save somebody from that zone of being ignorant, and they decide to just joke around and goof around or get points on the person or have this viral moment. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but here's the thing.
Well, I've been watching your content. I'll follow your.
I appreciate you, my brother. I don't I don't debate them one-on-one. When I'm by myself in my privacy, I don't sit in open dialogues with them, because there's no point. I do it online in front of other people so that people can judge, so that people can, whoever's already on the fence can see what he needs to do. If someone is struggling with somebody who's debating them and trying to force a narrative on them, they have some answers. So it's more so for the audience than them. And all praise to God. God has granted me a platform where I have you amazing people that listen and ponder and contemplate. So alhamdulillah.
You keep preaching. It's like بدأ الإسلام غريبا فسيعود غريبا. It started off, you know, as a strange thing, and now when somebody's telling the haqq, it's strange. You know what I'm saying?
It sounds like a hadith to me, brother.
Exactly. It's like I'm trying to help out here for the hadith guys as well, so they can get a sense of like, you know what I'm saying?
We can definitely using their material. if they're going to take it to face value and say that it's authentic and trace it back to the Prophet, I can make an argument with just the Hadith on how the Quran is sufficient and that the Hadith itself needs to be rejected, the majority of it. So
Yeah, it's in itself that you can find a lot of like contradicting stuff, you know.
yes,
And
so there's a hadith that states that the Prophet said to his people that there's going to be a time when his community is going to follow the communities before it, step by step, inch by inch, foot by foot, until if they fell into the hole of the lizard, that they will also fall with them. And then the companions asked the Prophet, "Are you talking about the Jews and the Christians?" He said, "Who else?" So it's saying that they're his community, the Sunnis and the Shias, which are not his community, that they're going to become like this, the Christians and the Jews, and that's what we see.
absolutely, mashallah, man. Aki, I enjoy your content. Keep preaching,
Appreciate.
inshallah.
Thank you, man. May
Get
God
off
bless
us
you.
up, bro.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you, bro, man.
Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
Salam Ahmad. Peace.
Hey,
What's going on? What's going on?
you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Okay, I didn't hear myself, so this is why I was asking, brother. Just a question. I don't want to debate or something, but just to clarify a little bit, just to have maybe another perspective, another view. Okay, so I was watching your clips a few days. And from what I understand, there is this thing that is called the Hadith Rejectors, right?
Sure, but the Quran is the best hadith. So these are terms that the Sunnis give us, not us. But it's very true, Farah. Nobody wants to debate today.
Perfect. It's not mine.
Sorry, go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so I just want to ask you. So I'm not opposing your your ideas, for example, but I was thinking, do we know today, until today, for example, from all the Muslims out in the world, okay, what will be the percentage of the Hadith rejectors?
The percentage of people who follow the Quran alone, the percentage of believers is always a small percentage, small amount in every
A
community.
number. Do we know a number? Any type of number?
No, that's throwing in the unseen.
So basically, this gives the evidence that the number is very, very small. Very small.
Yes, it is very small.
Okay, so then, if we take it by this view,
Mhm.
Islam, a religion of 1,500 years old, right?
Mhm.
Just to think about it like this. I'm not saying this is the case. Just a point of view, all right?
Mhm.
So a religion of Allah, 1,500 years old,
Mhm.
totally failed.
Didn't fail.
No, I understand. Just by this point of view, this religion reach only a quantum, a number very, very
Can I answer
unmeasurable.
you now? Can I answer you now?
No, but you got my point.
I
What
understand
I'm
your
trying
point.
to say.
Yes,
Okay.
so what it shows is clearly that the Quran is true. So God states very easily and very clearly in the Quran that the human being is at a loss. The human being is the failure. God says that he created us in the best form and then he has put us below the lowest of the low, except those that believe and do righteous deeds. And God tells us that the majority of the world will not do righteous deeds and believe in their God. Actually, the majority of them, when they believe in God, they do not believe until they associate. They need somebody to spoon feed them. What we know about the human being is that he's anxious, he's lazy, he's very arrogant in certain things that he does. The human being does not want to be a single community nor a single race. So us as human beings, God has given us the responsibility that we have accepted and we have failed. It's not that God's religion has failed. God's religion always gives you success, but the amount of people that accepted God's religion is very minimum. It's not that the Quran is wrong or that the God has failed or his religion failed. It just proves that the Quran is true in the sense that the people will just simply not accept the truth. And the majority of the world is hateful to the truth. For you to say that the religion of God has failed, there's a Christians that are known as Unitarians that, according to statistics, also make up 1% of the Christian religion. And those Unitarians are on the truth. They're monotheistics. Did the Christian religion also fail then?
Maybe
Did Isa fail?
No, maybe you didn't understand what I'm trying to say. Judging by this perspective, that after 1,500 years, all right, just a small, so the percentage of the people who got the real message, to say so, the real message, it's unmeasurable. So that this religion it's not to be taken seriously. You expect, what I'm trying to say is that you expect that when a religion is true from God and it has real signs, miraculously it's from God, you expect that religion to be followed in millions, right?
Millions.
Yes. Millions.
So
it's just a number.
So one minute.
Wait,
so
wait.
you're
Let me finish, and then you can go. Let me finish. Not millions. You understand my idea. You
sure
expect
there's 9 billion people. I
yes.
get it.
So when you cannot quantify the number of a people of a religion, isn't that a sign of?
Are there more people going to hell or are there more people going to paradise?
I don't know. I know that God, Allah, said that people will be people that are only fuel for fire in hell.
So God says that it is incumbent on him to fulfill his words, which he is going to fill hell with man and demons. So is there, according to Sunnis, which I believe you're a Sunni, are there more people in hell or are there more people in paradise?
I'm trying to understand, brother.
I'm trying to get you to the point, but I need you to engage in the conversation. Okay. Are there more people going to hell or are more people going to heaven according to Sunnism?
I don't know.
In Sunnism, they'll tell you more people are going to hell than more men, and specifically there's more women going to hell than men. So you're saying that this is also a point of failure in God's religion because God's religion did not save the majority; it saved a minority of people.
I'm not saying this is a point of failure. Listen, I am not introducing the point that if this is so, then this must be so. So if this if the number of followers
can I steel man your argument? Can I show you that I understood you? Okay, so you're saying that if God's religion is so clear and so concise, how come it was such a small number that got it right and the majority of them did not get it right? So it's speaking against the book of God and it's speaking against what God has shown. So it cannot be a true position because the majority is not following it or there isn't a significant number of people that follow this position. That's your argument.
Yes, kind of like that is.
Yes, so but I've answered you multiple times. The amount of people that are present within this religion, it does not signify that the religion is convoluted. It signifies the disease that is present in the human being, where God clearly tells you that the human being is at a loss. So for example, when God sends messengers, okay, you have the concept of Thamud, you have the concept of Salih, so you have the concept of Salih, you have the Hud, and then you have also Shu'aibah. When they were sent to their people, it was only a very tiny minority that believed and then the rest got destroyed. What you're seeing in this day and age is the majority of the world is in the position of those transgressors, the people of Lot, the people of Shu'aibah. So it's not the number.
Brother, sorry for interrupting you.
I don't think you're following me.
No, I don't think you are following because giving this example, it's not suited And I'm gonna tell you
But
why.
1 minute, I never made the claim that at the early onset after the blessed Prophet Muhammad that our position was the minority. Our position was the majority. The majority of the people would judge just with the Quran, and if it was not found in the Quran, they would have neglected it.
You sound a little apologetic, but what I'm trying to say is, we are not talking about Christians, Jehovah's Witnesses, or anything. I'm talking only strictly of us Muslims. If the number of the real true believers is so small, unquantifiable, basically, you think that this all other Muslims, the whole, basically,
Brother, you're not
are
letting me answer. You know that, like, this is getting
let's make this.
frustrating because what is
Okay,
my answer
sorry.
to you? At the very
Okay,
beginning,
sorry.
when Prophet
Yes,
Muhammad
I'm
was
here.
alive, and people were accepting Islam, that was the majority way of understanding the religion the way that I understand it now. Oh, my computer is lagging again. 1 second. So yes, what I was trying to say is that at the early onset of Islam, the majority of the people, right? The majority of the people, they would have accepted only the Quran as the sole judge that what God has revealed, and anything that came from Hadith would have been a secondary support. There was no other corpus known as Hadith that trumps the Quran, which is what we see nowadays. Okay, you see what I mean? So what you're seeing now is a phenomena because of a 1400-year history. It does not mean that the position that I had now was the minority at the start. The position as a minority now is because people are getting more and more sealed. It's what God says in the Quran. I hope you heard me.
I don't. Yes, I heard you, but I don't understand really good. So you say that in the back in the days there were no hadith?
In the back of the day, the hadith was not used the way that it's used today. There was no 1,000,000 hadith. There was no 6 books of hadith. There was no Albani coming 400 years later, or sorry, 1,000 years later, 1,200 years later, to reevaluate the hadith that is being presented.
No, listen, guys. I'm not talking about all the hadith. I'm talking about the main specific hadith.
Perfect. So what
a Muslim needs. What a Muslim needs.
The Muslim does not need other than the Quran. That's the whole argument. Anything that has some truth that is aligning with the Quran, this is a nice to have, but it's not a necessary. But it's not a necessity.
But okay. Just to clarify again, I'm not debating. Okay, I'm just trying to clarify for myself, to educate myself through you. So, for example, I want to go now to pray. How do I know how to pray? When to pray with the masjid? How can my life as a Muslim? Let me finish the question and then you can answer. For example, do I have as a Quranist? Do I have the Juma prayer? You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. So I was saying, as a
Quranist. Yeah, as a Quranist. Okay. So what do you mean by Jum'ah prayer? The Friday prayer or the congregation prayer?
The Friday congregation prayer.
That's 2 separate things.
Okay, please elaborate, educate me.
So the Quran talks about a congregation prayer, which the Sunnis perform on a Friday, but it does not have to be on a Friday. So yes, reading the Quran will get you to that conclusion.
Okay. So
now, are you able to actually understand the argument or no? So what is it? So you asked me, how do you pray from the Quran? Have you ever looked into the Quran to see if those questions get answered to you?
What I understand from what you are saying is that it's not necessary for me to go for the Friday prayer at the masjid. For example.
You're not listening to what's being said. If the call to the prayer is called on the day of congregation, it is mandatory for you to go. That's what God says in the Quran.
So that day, yes, but the day it's not obligatory to be Friday, for example. It can be any other day.
What does the word Jum'ah mean?
I understand.
Yes, exactly.
Jum'ah.
So on Sunnism, if they're going to call it on Friday, then it's going to be the day of Friday. But for other religions, they have it Saturday or Sunday. You can make it on Thursday as well if you want.
Okay. So I'm trying to understand. So for example,
can you answer my question? Maybe I'll help you understand. You asked me, how do you pray? Do you think that the Quran gives you sufficient information for you to know how to pray?
I don't know. No, to be sincere with you, I don't know. What I know in terms of praying is from the Sunnah prayer. But you can elaborate on this if you want.
So does God tell you how to do wudu in the Quran?
I think yes. I didn't study the Quran in depth.
Perfect. So if the Quran is telling you how to do wudu, the Quran is telling you the times of the prayer, the Quran is telling you the duration of the prayer, the Quran is telling you what God is expecting to you from the prayer, and God is also telling you the results of the prayer. So if you apply what God says and you find the results that God has promised you, then you are praying.
I understand. So in the Quran, we can find how to pray in the congregation, information on how we pray in congregation.
So when in chapter 4, God says, وَإِذَا قُمْتَ لَهُمُ الصَّلَاةِ, when you stand a prayer for them, so in a congregation, there is somebody that's going to lead the prayer. When he's going to recite the Quran, you better listen to it and reflect, because God is speaking at that point. Those are God's words that are being spoken at that point. Astaghfirullah. So it is very important for you to sit there and reflect and remember your Lord, so that maybe it stops you from obscenities and immoralities, the results of a prayer.
Brother, I'm asking for strict information, procedures.
Step by step?
Yes.
Okay. So you're asking me, how do I practice Sunnism from the Quran alone?
No.
You can't.
No. Yeah, this was a good one. Not Sunnism. So basically, from the Quran, we don't have such strict way. We can gather at the masjid if we are a bunch of Quranists, for example.
Oh my God.
We can gather at the masjid, and each of us can pray how we want. So,
do you think that's what we do? Be reasonable.
No,
be genuine. Do you think that's what we do? Do you think that when us, as you keep calling us Quranists, if we go to a mosque together, that everyone's going to do his own thing in a corner? Or do you think that we're going to... Yeah, okay, but here's the thing that you're not getting. So God is giving you a way of prayer. The way that you apply it is, there's so many ways to apply it. But if you put somebody as a leader, you're going to follow that way of praying. It's very simple. But to say that there's one way that needs to be step by step, then you're going to find yourself in a cult.
This is, brother, when I'm saying Quranist, I'm not calling it derogatory. How should I call it so you can understand who I'm referring to?
Muslims,
but
yeah.
Muslims and Sunni Muslims, right?
No. You see, you call yourself a Sunni. I don't call myself a Quranist. That's the disconnect. You like calling yourself a Sunni. I don't call myself a Quranist. That's what Sunnis call us. Shias call themselves Shia. We don't call ourselves Quranists. Okay. So call me as a Muslim. If that's too much for you, then refer to yourself as a Sunni and refer to me as a Muslim.
Okay, I understand. So Muslims.
So when Muslims come together in how they pray is by how God told us in the Quran. If it's not something that you are aware of the verses, then there is no conversation at this point. You're asking me, how do I accomplish the prayer the way that you were told? Or what is the step-by-step procedure for you to have a rain dance? That if you move your hands in a way that God has not permitted you, according to you, that your prayer is invalidated. That if you do not beat the devil with your finger at the end of the salah, that your salah is invalid. So this stuff we don't have. This is superstition.
Okay. I'm not going to hold the line because maybe some others want to enter. But just to summarize, just a recap.
Yeah,
so from your perspective, a religion of 1,500 years have followers that we in the Muslim world, in the Muslim followers, the true Muslims that are following real Islam to say so. It's a number such small that we cannot quantify. Is that okay? Thank you, brother.
You're the one who's making that argument, but
No,
that's fine.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Do you agree with it?
No, we have came to a position in the world where it is either God is going to destroy this world
Brother.
or reset the cycle, because people have become so blind to God's verses that literally when the Quran is telling you that it's complete, you're saying that it's incomplete. That's what's
Brother,
happening in the world. So
just-
if you're going to say that only a minority of people are going to believe, that's what happened with Noah, that's what happened with Shu'aibah, that's what happened with Hud, that's what happened with Salih. So it's okay. I'm happy with the results.
Brother, I was not saying this. You like to radicalize the answer, but
But brother, that's the whole point. There's implications to what you're saying.
No.
So I am actually going where I'm using the insight based on what you're saying for me to see the consequences
Brother.
and the results of what you said. So what you're
want-
saying that it does not make sense to you that this religion has just a few numbers of followers because it's been around for 1400 years, and it just doesn't, it's not something that you're wrapping your head around. It's because you do not know the Quranic narrative. The
You did not
Quranic
listen to
narrative
what-
tells you that that's what happens.
you did not listen what I was trying to say. I'm gonna say this, and
I
I'm
swear
gonna
to God I did. I swear as God is my witness,
I'm
I
gonna
did.
say it one more time. So today,
Fadlan.
1,500 years later, okay, from the divine message, from all the Muslims, and we're gonna take only the big known branches, Sunnis and Shias, and okay, or do we know how many Muslims today we have in the world? Is there a number?
Well, the one that says La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, that's
Yes,
a Muslim, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently so.
Yes. Do we know how many we have?
No.
Do you have an idea? Or
No,
number?
you don't. No, you don't.
Not even a number. Million.
Of course you
billion.
don't, because if somebody's born in Syria, he's automatically called a Muslim even if he's an atheist. So I don't
Brother,
know what you're trying to quantify
for
here.
From the sake argument's sake, we
Yeah.
don't have an estimate number of how many.
What is it? 2 billion people, 1 billion people that are Sunnis and Shias?
This is what. Okay, from these 2 billion, we have a number unquantifiable of Muslims, how you say, that don't follow the Sunnah. So again, my point.
Wait. Who said we don't follow the Sunnah?
No. I don't want to use the word Quranist because you don't like it.
We
I'm gonna
follow
say-
the Sunnah. We don't accept Bukhari as religious authority. It doesn't mean that there's no Sunnah. I don't know what you're talking about.
So you follow the Sunnah.
The Sunnah that's found in the Quran.
I understand. No, the Sunnah from the Hadith. You don't.
Okay,
this
so
is what,
the Sunnah that is not found in the Quran. Okay, so your nonsense is what we don't follow. That's what makes us
No.
non-Muslims now, right? Or that's the minuscule number.
maybe I was.
Can I ask you a question very quickly
wait,
before you
maybe
depart?
I was-
Before you depart, I have a question.
You want to throw me out?
God, I'm not throwing you out. I'm asking you a very simple question about a verse from the Quran. When God says, "And if you follow the majority of the world that they would delude you from the path of God." What's that mean to you?
You have perfectly point. Yes. I give you right in this regard. But look, brother, I'm just.
So you're saying I'm right, but you
No.
want to argue. Amazing.
Brother, 1 + 1 = 2, right? It's simple. It's something simple. If you look at a wall from up close, there are things you cannot see. If you go back a step, maybe you can see a bigger picture. So again, my question is, 1,500 years from all the Muslims in the world, the only Muslims that are true Muslims are the
You
number.
are not hearing me.
Please
Bro,
let me finish.
I heard
brother.
you keep repeating it, but I'm not talking about the early onset of Islam. I'm talking about 2026. In
Okay.
2026, the amount of Muslims are very small, but in the
Brother,
very beginning, on the
brother, in
ratio,
any-
it was very big. But
Yes.
you're not engaging with the conversation. You keep repeating
Okay,
yourself to make
listen.
yourself seem so dumbfounded on what is being explained to you that is such a shock for you to understand understand that we
Brother,
have
understand-
reached a
I
time
understand your point.
where the amount of believers is very minimal, but you are now exercising my patience.
No, I understand your point.
No.
Listen, you're
So
right.
repeat yourself then.
Yes, you're right. In the back in the days, there were more Muslims, true Muslims like you. I'm talking about today. No one said I'm talking about.
Yeah, but but this is the
Today.
promise of God, bro. Like, do you understand?
Brother.
This is what God told you is going to happen in the Quran. But you're
Brother,
trying
just-
to say that this doesn't make sense. Then go argue
No,
with
no,
God's
no, no.
verses, not me.
You are putting words in my mouth. I'm just asking you. So today,
You
can
literally asked me, does it make sense that after 50, 100 years, that it's a number that is not even quantifiable? Does that make sense?
I did not. No. I did not ask you to tell
Oh
me
my
if
God.
that makes sense. Again, I am asking you this: can we, for example, pull the line and conclude? Yes, today, after so many years, this is how much true Muslims we have, unquantifiable number. Are you agree with me? Do you agree with me?
Brother, the number is unquantifiable because only
Okay.
God can quantify such numbers. That's how it works. That's what it means to be a
Brother,
truthful and
that
honest
is-
person. Okay, amazing. So you
is
made
what-
your point. Can we move on now?
Okay, I don't know why you are so.
Because we've been talking about this for 25 minutes and you have not made a point.
Okay, now I made my point. I just wanted a confirmation from you. I thank you for your time, brother. Keep the
Okay.
good work.
Okay. That was him trying to say that it doesn't make sense. And he literally said, you agreed my point, or you understood my point, but he would not engage with it. And he keeps repeating himself, thinking that he's going to make me think that this religion does not make sense because it's such a minuscule number. But literally, God says, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ. And in the people who did not believe with him, with Noah, except a little. It's the same thing with Shu'aib, same thing with every messenger that came. But to them, the majority is the truth. Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah, right? The people of tradition and the majority. So when you follow the majority, as God says, وَإِن تَطَعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ يَضِلُّونَكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And if you follow the majority of the world, they will delude you from the way of God. So that's what we're experiencing. That was a weird conversation, man. Let me see. Salam, I have a question. Ba-ba-ba. Right now. Ramadan's right now. Should we be visiting and arguing during the... Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Please take me up, Baba Yaga. I will.
Alaikum, peace be upon you, brother.
Walaikum salam. What's going on?
I'm good. How are you, bro?
I'm doing well. What's going on?
I have been reading Quran since I was 16, and I got a lot of knowledge. And I'm not associated with any sect. So I was going to reveal something for you. Maybe you don't know about it because I got the knowledge. So
But I
I was
have a
just
feeling we spoke before. Haven't we spoke before?
no, we never spoke before. Never. It's
Okay.
my first
Baba
time. It's
Yaga.
my first live. Indeed. All
Okay,
right.
so
So
what is it that you want to reveal to me that is nobody else found out?
yeah. I have a lot of topics. But first of all, I would start with this topic. All right. So, do you know where is the Masjid Al-Aqsa? What do you think where the Masjid Al-Aqsa is?
It's in modern day Jerusalem.
All right. Can you read? Could you please read the verse number 1 in Surah Al-Isra?
You can go ahead and present it.
All right. Allah says, I took my guy from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa, which those surroundings are with baraka, are blessed. All right.
That we have blessed around it, bro.
So
That's what it says.
exactly. So
To
tell
show him
me
some of our
which
signs.
exactly. So tell me which two mosques are there in the world which are blessed, which surroundings are blessed.
Brother, it says he has blessed around the mosque.
Yeah, exactly. But you would still see the blessing around these mosques.
Correct.
Where are these two
He's
mosques?
talking about one mosque where that was blessed around him, which is Masjid Al-Aqsa.
Yeah, exactly. That
In
Masjid Al-Aqsa is blessed.
in the blessed land.
No.
No,
God
no.
says its surroundings are blessed. These
Yes.
mosque surroundings are blessed.
So what we have blessed around the mosque, and because that land
Exactly.
itself has been blessed where the mosque is, and that's why it's on the holy land. That's why it's Masjid Al-Aqsa.
No, that's okay. I will explain it to you.
وأنجيناه ولوطا إلى الأرض التي باركنا فيها للعالمين, and we have rescued him, i.e. Abraham, and Lot to the land that we have blessed to all of the people. So that's talking about the Holy Land.
No. Okay,
It's not
wait.
talking about
I
the
will
Holy
explain
Land.
it to you.
Brother,
Okay, the must wait.
Yeah.
Let me explain. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, maybe you're wrong, so you can get some knowledge. Maybe I'm wrong. I will get some knowledge. All right. So the mosque God mentioned is in Medina, which people nowadays call Masjid Nabawi. Whenever you go into that mosque, you will see the blessing around it. Exactly same as
What's the
Masjid Al
blessing?
Haram.
Sure, what's the blessings that's around it?
Like you will feel when you are there, you will feel blessed, you will feel peace.
Did you ever go to
Same
Aqsa?
as Masjid Al Haram.
Did you ever
Exactly.
go to Aqsa? Did you ever go to Aqsa?
Yeah, I went there. Yeah. But
You
if
went to
there were if
Jerusalem?
yes.
Oh, and you didn't feel
But
blessed
okay,
there?
no.
Mm.
If the place was blessed as Masjid Al Haram, there would be no fights. There will be
No,
no
that makes no
facade. No.
sense, bro.
Okay, all
That's
right. Okay.
you okay. You
God
wanted to
mentioned
learn.
that
You
mosque.
wanted to
God.
learn. You wanted to learn.
No,
So
no, no.
you,
I learn. I
what?
read Quran.
Okay, then let me
Okay,
answer
okay.
you.
Let me
No.
explain.
I'm tired of this, bro. Listen
Okay,
to what
God.
is being said. So the reason why it's called Masjid al-Haram, okay, because it's haram there to fight. So the one in Mecca, it's forbidden for us to fight, but there's absolutely no stipulations in regards to the mosque that is in Al-Aqsa. So what you're saying is not accurate. Mm. Yes, thank you, Momoki. You're right. I'm not interested in these kind of conversations. What's up, gangster boy?
Mohammed, how are you?
Good. How are you? What's going on, gangster boy?
Good, thanks. Tell me something, brother. Oh, well, I've seen a podcast where you were present debating, and they claimed that you were Michael from Tel Aviv. Are you from Tel Aviv? I
No,
mean,
that's a
originally?
lie. That's a lie that they're perpetrating because they wanted to remove my name as Muhammad. They don't like that my name is Muhammad, so they started to call me Michael.
Oh,
And because they
yes.
believe that I'm a Zionist agent, yet I have many contacts against Zionism, they said that he's a Zionist trying to destroy Islam. And therefore, we're not going to give him the name Muhammad. We're going to call him Michael as an insult because that's a Jewish name. It's not a Muslim name. And then they say that I'm from
Yes.
Tel Aviv as an insult. But these people are going to have to stand and prove that to God on the day of judgment, which they can't. So apparently, Michael is a Jewish name. It's not a Muslim name anymore.
Yeah. Okay, anyways, another thing I wanted to ask you. Okay, I take it you don't believe in no hadith. You reject all the hadith.
Authority of Hadith, yes.
Yes.
Mehdi, Habibi, is
So,
that still the case? Sorry.
no, it's
Somebody was asking. Somebody was saying that I have an echo on YouTube. I just want to know if that's still the case.
oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, what I wanted to find out from you. So basically, you don't believe in no, like, for specifically to us, like to us when waking up in the morning before eating, etiquettes of eating, etiquettes of going to the toilet and things like that. You don't believe in any of those things, am I right?
No.
For
I'll answer
instance,
you in a
before
second.
we eat, hey,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, for instance, before we eat, we say Bismillah wa ala barakatillah. You don't believe in that eating with the right hand, etiquettes of eating, going to the toilet with your left foot, leaving with the right foot, reading the dua before entering the
This is
toilets and things like
superstition.
that. You don't,
So God tells us
you don't
that
believe in anything.
that's superstition. I do believe in things, but not that things.
Okay, and obviously leaving the home, entering the home, everything. Okay, so I'm gonna I'm gonna get a bit personal, but I just want to understand your point of view here. When you enter the toilet, right? When you go to the toilet, do you people like sit and urinate, or do you just stand and urinate like everyone else, or majority of the disbelievers? Because the Quran doesn't tell us to sit and urinate. So how do you urinate? It's just a
Brother,
question. I'm just curious, please. It's a personal question, but I mean, the Quran doesn't tell you how to urinate. The Prophet told us.
the Prophet told you how to urinate.
Yes, the Prophet told us how to urinate,
Did
how
he sit or
to.
stand?
No. The Prophet told us the etiquettes of
I can.
going to toilet, performing ghusl, things like that. What I'm asking you is, you personally, how do you go to the toilet? I mean,
There's a
do you
hadith.
stand? Do you wash?
There. 1 second. So, unfortunately, that you don't know your own hadith books, you're just hearing what they tell you in the mosques. There's a hadith where he stood up
Okay.
and peed, and there's a hadith where he would sit down and pee. So you could do both.
Okay, but do you wash when you go to the toilet? Do you
Brother,
just?
did you need the Prophet to tell you that you have to wash after you pee?
Okay, right.
No,
But
did
majority of the
people?
people don't.
1 minute.
So the Quran doesn't tell you.
1 minute. The people before Prophet Muhammad did not wash after they used the toilet. They would just wipe their faces with their poop.
Did the Quran tell you that? No,
Brother,
I'm talking
this
of
is common
urinating,
sense.
not pooping, not pooping, urinating. I'm talking
This
of
is common
urinating. No,
sense.
but
So
the
yes.
Quran doesn't tell you. So you're using common sense now, not the Quran.
Well, I mean, God is telling you to use your reason. Are you telling me the
Okay.
Quran is missing something?
So the
Is the
Christians and the
Quran missing?
Jews,
Is the Quran missing something?
yes, it is. I'm
So
telling
when
you.
God says that we have not left anything outside of the book, you're saying that God left out how you're going to wipe your pee-pee after you're done peeing. Excellent.
No.
So when
You're
God
missing
says
my
that this
point.
Quran is complete, that this Quran is
Yes.
guiding you to what is upright, that it is detailed in knowledge, you're
So-
saying it's not detailed enough because he didn't tell you how to wipe your butt or wipe your pee-pee.
Okay, so
Excellent.
then why are you going against the Quran then? Because the Quran doesn't tell you. It doesn't show you the
Because
etiquette of
I
going to the
don't
toilet.
because I can go to the bathroom before anybody is telling me that the God is going to show me how to clean and wipe. I mean, if you look at an animal in the street, they know that they have to wipe after they use the bathroom. Just look at cats and dogs, for example. They understand that it's unclean, so they some of them cover it, and some of them just go onto the side and they put it in the same place,
Obviously,
and they
they are.
clean themselves after it.
We cannot compare ourselves to animals, obviously,
But I mean,
because animals
if the animal
are
is
the
capable of
creation of
deducing
Allah.
it, if the animal is capable of deducing it, you needed a prophet to come tell you to wipe your butt?
They don't deduce it by themselves. Allah has created them that way to deduce it, to
Perfect.
give them the
It's called-
intellect to
It's
deduce it.
called
But
the
anyways,
sense of the animal, common sense for the human being.
Yes,
We
yes,
know
yes.
very well
Yes.
that the poop is dirty. Like, I don't want poop on my hand. I'm gonna go wash.
yes, with water, with
Oh my
water.
Lord. Oh my God.
Yes. Now, okay, with water. Why? Tell me, if that's the case, then why do majority, the Jews, the Christians, whatever the case may be, they don't use water? Tell me that.
Do they wipe?
Do they not have intellect?
Do they wipe?
They wipe, yes,
Okay, so
but they don't use water. So I'm asking, do
that
you
their
use
form of
water?
Is that their form of cleaning?
That's their form of cleanliness, yeah. That's their
Okay.
form, but it's not the
Do-
right form, obviously.
Okay, do you know what I do when I take a poop?
Mm-hmm.
I go take a shower.
Hey?
When I poop, I go take a shower.
Every time.
Yeah, because I poop once a day. Since you want to get personal, what do you
Oh.
do after you take a poop?
I use water. But anyways,
Yeah,
okay,
but
so if you
can
go
you tell
to...
me what you say? What do you say? What do you say when you're wiping your butt?
No. We don't say anything. We can't talk
You
in the
don't say
toilet.
anything?
Obviously,
You
you
can't
people can
talk in the
talk.
toilet.
I'm sure.
Ah, okay. Why can't you talk in the toilet?
Can you read the Quran in the toilet?
Why can't you talk in the toilet?
I'm asking. I'm just.
I asked you a question.
It's
Answer.
it's a faulty place. Why would you talk? Because it's told. I mean, Islam. We don't talk in the toilet. It's just
Why?
it's Islam.
Huh?
It's the way we were taught not to talk in the toilet. Do you talk in the toilet? I mean, do you have a conversation?
1 minute. Is there because there's poop and there's pee in the toilet?
No, it's a filthy place, man.
It's why? Because people do poop and pee in the toilet, right? That's why it's a filthy place, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
So if you're camping, for example, do you pray outside?
Yeah.
Okay, so where every insect and every animal is pooping and peeing, you still have no problem talking to God there and prostrating. When you go into the ocean where you can't talk to God, where every fish pees and poops, you're okay talking there. Like, what consistency are you talking about?
The ocean is very dark. You do know that, eh? I mean, that's what the hadith. That's the thing. The hadith has told us
So
all
for
these
thousands
things.
of years,
you're
where
using
the
your
insects,
logic.
where thousands of years, where insects and animals walking in the desert and walking in the forests, where they poop, poop, pee, and all types of excrements, you still pray there. That's not a problem. But it's difficult for you to pray in the bathroom or say God's name in the bathroom. Total sense. I think you're scared of the bathroom.
So you would pray in the bathroom?
I have absolutely no problem saying "A'udhu billah min ash-shaytan ar-rajim" in the bathroom. Is that allowed?
No, not for me. Okay, but more.
So if the devil is attacking you in the bathroom, you won't say anything. That's why you guys are mushriks.
No, okay. I get what you're saying. But anyways, so do you have like your own mosque, like a Quran only masjid or mosque or prayer place?
I don't know why we shifted the conversation. I wanted to keep going in this conversation
because I'm not gonna get anywhere with you. I mean, you just told me now that
I'm going somewhere with you. 1 minute, I'm not done. So are you telling
you're
me
getting nowhere? Because I mean, when a person tells you that they can say when a person tells you that while they're taking a poop and they can say "A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim," and that's okay with them to take the name of Allah while their aura is uncovered, and I mean seriously, I can't get anywhere with you. Seriously, with that conversation, it's finished. Right, let's move on.
1 minute. You're the one who brought this conversation. You're the one who brought this.
I know, but I didn't know. I didn't know that you actually pray in the toilet.
I don't pray in the toilet, but I can call upon my God anywhere in the world. I can call upon my God anywhere I want, because if I need help, my God listens. But here's my question for you. So you made the argument that the Quran is incomplete, that it's missing details, right?
Well, obviously it is, because for instance the Quran tells us to perform salah.
Perfect. Now can you answer me this? When God says that it's complete and that he did not miss anything out of the Quran and that it's detailed, did God lie?
No. The detail
so
comes
you
from the
lied?
Hadith. That's what you're not understanding.
No, he said this book. We detailed this book. He said the book we gave you in detail. This is the book. He's talking about the Quran. He's not talking about your Hadith nonsense, garbage books, the ones that you should be reading in the bathroom. I'm telling you very simply. Can you just answer this? Is the Quran incomplete when God said that it's complete?
I can answer you from your own argument now. For instance, Tabbat yada Abi Lahab yuwatab. Who was Abu Lahab?
Brother,
who was he? I'm asking you. I'm getting to your answer. I'm getting to your answer.
I want you to answer me in regards to your contradiction. Did God say it's a complete and detailed book?
I'm gonna prove to you that you're gonna contradict yourself.
I'm not gonna contradict myself because I've been asked this 100 times.
If you answer me,
I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. I'm very simply gangster boy. I'm asking you before you go wipe your butt, because how Bukhari taught you how to wipe your butt.
No. You asked me a question, and
yes. Is the Quran complete and detailed?
I'm arguing your question.
Is the Quran complete?
I'm trying to answer you.
Why are you running away? Is it complete and detailed? Yes or no?
I'm gonna get to the answer. Why don't you want to get into
Abu Lahab is Iblis. Okay, cool. Now tell me very simply, Yes, it's Iblis. Now
Fuzzy.
tell me,
What?
is the Quran complete and
Go there.
detailed?
We're not going away from this question. Trust me. We're gonna come back to
Okay,
it. I
then
promise
answer
you.
me. Then answer.
I'm
Yalla.
answering. Tell
It's
me
a yes or
about Abu
no.
Lahab. Who was Abu Lahab? It's in the
Bro,
Quran. Who was he?
I want you to actually
You
make the point, and then
love
we'll talk about Abu Lahab.
Oh no.
God says very easily, gangster boy, right, that the Quran is complete and detailed. You're saying it's not complete and detailed because you don't know who Abu Lahab is. So did God lie or did you
No,
lie?
I'm asking you.
Brother,
We need the hadith. We
I
believe
am
in the hadith. We believe.
Hey, if you're
we
not going to
believe that the
answer
Quran
this
is also-
question, I am going to drop you. It's very simple. God says that the Quran is complete and detailed. You're saying it's not complete and detailed. So who's telling the truth?
The Quran is complete and detailed to
Thank
a
you.
point, but we need the hadith. We need the hadith.
Thank you for cooking yourself. Bro, who Abu Lahab is? Abu Lahab is a type of a person that who cares more about his wealth than what God is saying. And it's very clear in chapter 18 when God says about Iblis that he has a dhurriya. 1 second, I'm lagging again. There's something that's consistently making me lag. Yeah, we don't need this at this point. So yeah, Abu Lahab is a type of a human being, which is called the father of a flame. So God is giving you someone who has a concept, an ideology, where they care more about what they have and what they're earning rather than what God is ordering them to do. And now in the concept of what Abu Lahab did, he's telling you, he gathered his money and he cared more about his money. Wait, he has a wife. Yeah, if you go to chapter 18, God is telling you about how Iblis have a seed, right? And people are taking Iblis and his seed as allies when they're clear enemies to them. So it's very clear who Abu Lahab is from the Quranic perspective. But if you want to go contextualize it to Prophet Muhammad, you go right ahead. But then that doesn't mean you're applying the Quran to yourself. Bro, these people are weird, man. Add me, I want to cook you more. Add me, I want you to cook. Guys, watch how he's going to fall on his face, okay? Where is he? Where is this gangster boy that he thinks that the Quran doesn't teach you that cleanliness is normal? Why did you delete me? Because look at you, bro. You literally came up telling me how do you pee from the Quran. And then you can't call upon your Lord out of help. But anyways, you're not even in the list anymore. Let me see. Who's next? That was the dumbest conversation of the day. I need to close this. Maybe this is an issue.
Hello.
Hey.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Can you hear me?
Well, yeah, I can hear you. What's up?
Okay, so first of all, nice to follow you. I've been followed you for some times.
May God bless you.
And to be honest, I feel a lot of what you say is quite interesting.
Thank you.
But could you please tell me a little bit about yourself, please?
For me, it's what do you mean? I'm a person that follows the Quran alone. That's pretty much.
Yeah, like more about your background and stuff. Because I have been following you, but I have.
It's not about me though. It's about the Book of God and about the religion of God. It's never about me. I don't make it about me.
No, I'm thinking like, have you always been following
alone?
just the Quran? Yeah.
Yeah, since 2010.
Okay.
So I've been on this road for quite some time. Yes.
Okay, so I have a question regarding like to the Quran and of course the Hadith. For example.
You're alt-tabbed. I can't hear you. Give me 1 second, guys. Go ahead. I can hear you.
So my question was like, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
So yeah. For example, it is specified the sujood and everything but not the sequences of a salah, right?
Yes. So, brother, when you're going to talk about the sequence of the salah, if you're going to talk about sequence of salah, then you're trying to get spoon fed. Guys, you have to give me 1 second, okay? 1 second.
Mm.
I think I figured it out. I think my computer is suffering from overheating at this point. I think it's suffering from overheating. Because it's lagging more and more as time progresses. So I think it is just overheating. And I would need to turn this on. Yeah, so God is telling you the results of the prayer. You know what I mean by the results of the prayer?
Yes, I can. Yeah.
So if you are capable of finding the results of the prayer, that means that you prayed. God is telling you the components of the prayer, and therefore that if you uphold the components of the prayer, you are a person who's praying. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but then again, for example, it doesn't specify number of rakah, for example.
Because that's not what prayer is about. That's the whole argument. So there is not one way of praying, and it's not about the numbers of units, but rather it is about the actual time that you're spending prayer, is what God is showing us in the Quran.
So, like for me, for example, when I think about it, like, and that's why we needed to add. Otherwise, I think if we didn't have a clear guidance, I think it would be more chaotic. Yes.
What's the chaos? That people actually have to use their brain and apply what God is saying? That's chaotic to you, instead of being spoon-fed by somebody that is deluded?
No, definitely not. And I understand what you're saying.
Sure.
But I believe that this is the actually reason why, because people tend not to use their brain, right?
Because they're spoon-fed.
For example, but if you have clear guidance, like for example, Fajr has this amount of rakah, and so you basically are practicing a straight line in one direction.
So yes, if the society has agreed that our Fajr is going to be 2 rak'ats in this procedure, it does not make it a religion. It makes it an application of the religion. If I decide that I wanted to make it 4 rak'ats and I wanted to have it for the time that God has told us to have it, and for us to stand, to say chapter 1, and then for us to read a chapter of the Quran and then to prostrate, the man who's actually praying will get the benefits of the prayer. So it's not about it becoming a rain dance, that there's these specific procedures that you have to do in this order for it to be accepted. That's not what God ever asked you from. But this is what they turned it into, and this is a point of failure.
So so you believe that that's wrong?
It's not wrong. It's not the only way of praying, and there's some stuff within it that needs to be fixed. So there's some stuff that they say that God has not told us to say. In fact, it can invalidate your prayer in those moments if you do it. So for example, talking to the Prophet directly, this is not something that God is going to tell you to do in the middle of your prayer.
Yes. So my question: do you think that if you practice that sense of praying, would it be invalid?
If you're going to talk directly to the Prophet, it can invalidate your prayer.
No, not talk directly to the Prophet, but let's say you're strict. You follow your strict prostrate, like do the rakats by the numbers.
If I'm with the Sunnis and the Sunnis are praying, I would pray with them because God told me to prostrate with those that prostrate. So I don't have a problem praying in the same sense that the Sunnis do, but I would not say what the Sunnis are saying because I'm praying to God. I'm not praying with Sunnis.
So during the prayer, or what do you mean? You would not say the same? thing.
So there's some stuff that I would not say. I wouldn't say the word Ameen. That's not an Arabic word.
Okay.
I would not say things like but I wouldn't say Sami Allahu liman hamida. That doesn't make sense. And I wouldn't say Salamu alayka ya ayyuhan nabi.
Because
Because it's
so
not
because
truthful.
it's, so did
And God wants us
so
to be truthful.
yeah, but how did the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, prayed?
You wouldn't know, and I don't know.
Okay, but so that's why, like, I'm asking because that's why we have this the hadiths, because they're explaining
Okay, but
how
then
the Prophet.
yes, but we see consistently that the hadith is lacking, contradicting, and it has been written in so many years after the Prophet. And even if you're going to make the argument about a living tradition, then why are they talking to the messenger directly? I can clearly tell my kid a small difference in the prayer. Even actually going as far as the one where they say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, kama sallaita ala Ibrahim. This is something where all four madahibs will tell you that this was an addition and it's not what the Prophet did, but yet you all do it. So how does that work for you?
Yeah, this the last thing there is actually is interesting, because for me it would mean that the Prophet, he prayed to himself, right? By
Right,
mentioning
but
himself in the prayer.
But what I was trying to say to you is that you clearly have a disconnect when I'm trying to explain to you that they have added to the prayer. So even if you're going to make the argument of a living tradition, the living tradition was modified. Just like how the Adhan was modified. So how much of it would you trust?
Yeah, exactly. This is where it confuses me sometimes, because well, the Quran says that we should follow the book and only the book, and
Right.
but sometimes, when you talk to the imams and sheikhs, they
don't
always
care what
bring
the book say.
Well, not that they care, but they always bring they add from the books, hadiths and stuff.
So they don't care what the Quran says.
I don't believe that they don't care, but I
If they
believe that they
cared,
want
then
to
they would modify. They care about
probably,
what they were
yeah.
told. Yes. So when it's told to them, follow what God has revealed, they will say, no, we will follow what we found our forefathers doing, even if their forefathers was not guided. So that's what they do. God has told us that in the Quran.
Oh.
When God says, do not be silent in your prayer, they're silent in the prayer. That's not allowed.
One more time, please. What did you say?
So God says, do not be silent do not be loud, excessively loud in your prayer, and do not be silent in your prayer, and find the middle way. For Dhuhr and Asr, and as a congregation, they're silent. Directly goes against the Quran. So, but when you present that to your sheikh, he gives you justifications on why God's book doesn't get applied there. So they do not judge with what God said. So they don't care.
Okay, that's what's my questions.
Appreciate
basically.
it. Habibi, I'm going to summarize something for you. I wanted to answer your questions, but this is the truth, what I want you to understand. God says to you in the Quran that the prayer is for the remembrance of God, and that if you pray, that it stops you from immoralities and obscenities. This is the results of the prayer. If you're a person that has came up with a system to apply what God says in the Quran in the way that you wash, how God told you to wash before the prayer, the standing, the times of the prayer, and you find yourself having more control, more self-control, and you are shedding away from immoralities and obscenities, and you're capable of controlling yourself better, then you're a person who's praying. So whatever you're doing is being accepted from you. But if you see somebody doing the Sunni prayers and they're bouncing their heads 5 times a day, but then they leave the mosque and light up a cigarette and insult this guy and eat this guy's inheritance and steal from this guy, his prayer is not prayer. He's just doing a rain dance.
Yeah, like a ritual, yeah?
Yes.
It becomes a
fake ritual that they're trying to please their idol.
Yeah, exactly.
Prayer is about communication to God and God communicating back to you. The way God communicates back to you specifically is from the Quran. That's God's words being spoken to you. So this is God talking to you, and this is why those prayers are very important.
Hmm. I understand. Thank you for clarifying, brother. It was
Not a
just
problem.
some small
And
questions, you know.
yes, and on YouTube, I do have on my YouTube channel a 10-minute video showing you how I personally pray. If you want to see it.
Yeah, I think I saw it because I have been
Perfect.
following you for some times.
God bless you, man.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
coming up. Not a problem.
Yes, God bless you. Bye. Bye.
Salam.
Salam.
Mehdi, is it lagging still? Can you please take one call from the submitters forum on YouTube at the end, please? Submitters forum on YouTube at the end, please. I'm not sure. From our submitters forum on YouTube. Sorry, Mehdi. I can't take calls for YouTube directly. It has to be on TikTok because I'm using OBS. But is it lagging still? I think the lagging has calmed down, right? No, subhanAllah, it just lagged. Yeah, just give me 1 second because I figured out what it is. It is the fans, and I need to get an amp for me to to increase the fan speed. It just lagged again. I saw it, but it's lagging less because yes, I believe it is the issue with. Sorry. Let me get I believe this will work. Bro, if you're gonna ask me how I pee, I promise you, bro, you're not gonna be finishing much. Do you pee standing up? It's not in the Quran. Astaghfirullah, bro. This is what they think that the Quran was sent for. Abu Awza. Azaya. I gotta learn how you're saying your name. Have the same, yeah, it's true. Okay, do you accept the agreement? I accept this agreement. So now give me your program. Let's see if it works. Launch. I hope it works. Come on, buddy. Oh no. There we go. What? It's the same program that didn't work. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I'm trying to look for a proper Let me see this. Hopefully this works. Free download. You guys give me 1 second because I need to get this app. Peace, bro. I just got your missed call. My download has started. Come on, inshallah khair. Okay. Sorry guys, I just because of all the cooking, I need to I need to slow it down a bit. I think we're gonna skip all. I need to what's it called? Slow bake them right now. We can't we can't be cooking them all that. Speed, please raise speed fat. Okay, yes. Smart technology, cool. Next, install. Do you agree? The YouTube channel name Muhammad from God is the same name as now. As my TikTok, sorry. Okay, let's see if it worked. Speed fan. Better work. Praise to God. NVIDIA. Scanned. Skizzy. Cool. Scanning. Come on, bro. The Mahdi has arrived. The Mahdi, bro, please. You can go get blocked. Close. Okay, that's 45. Okay, and now how do I? I'm not sure, but okay, whatever. All right, let's bring this person up while I'm coming. Mm-hmm.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum
Can you hear
salam.
me?
I can hear you.
Brother, I've got a few questions. It's not a debate. I just want to learn knowledge from
Bro,
you.
you're the third person that says it that way, and you're about to debate me. What's up? Tell me.
No, I didn't say it's about debate. I said it's not a debate. I just want to learn something of you because I've been following you, and I'm
What's up?
trying to gather some knowledge
Okay.
regarding the Salah, basically, how to pray. Because I was born into a Sunni family, right? And I'm doing my research through Quran. So I wanted to
Okay.
learn how to do prayer properly.
Okay, so I have on my YouTube channel, right? I have a 10-minute video that says how to pray. I'll put it on the screen for you to see
Can you
how
do that for me, please? Yeah, thank you, brother.
and then you can go watch it. If you have any more questions, you can come. I put all the verses that are there. I have all the pretty much, hopefully, everything that you need to get going with the prayer from the Quran. So it's right here.
Perfect.
Let me put that on the screen. I believe it's right here. Studio view. Boom.
Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah, perfect.
Yes. Okay. So, and the name of the channel is Muhammad from God. Okay.
I'll just go. Thank you, brother. Cheers. Thank you.
No problem. Peace. And God bless you.
God bless you.
Okay, cool. There's my plug. Anyways, alhamdulillah, inshallah. May God Lulu, you tell me, was he a Sunni or a Shi'i? Guys, there's a lot of people in the line, so I'm just gonna go and I'm going to let me cook you. Okay, Bob. He's
Yes.
so obviously a Sunni.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
So one minute, I'm doing well. Lulu, so to be a Sunni, you have to be from Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Jama'ah means that there's the majority. And it's the consensus that decides on a matter. Yet we know from the Quran that Prophet Muhammad was judging matters from what the Quran is saying himself. Okay? So it wasn't what the majority wanted. It was what Muhammad has been revealed by God. So it's not something that he would have practiced, which is Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. He did not take the consensus of his Sahaba for him to find what the truth is. He allowed the book of God to judge. But this is what you do. What you do is take the consensus of the majority, which you guys say as scholars, and it doesn't matter if they're right or wrong, but this is how you approach your religion. So obviously Prophet Muhammad was not a Sunni. Prophet Muhammad was ordered to follow the creed of Abraham. Then we have inspired you to follow the creed of Abraham, right? He was a monotheist, right? He was not of the idolaters. If Prophet Muhammad followed Abraham, and therefore Abraham would have been a Sunni as well, I think this is not how it works. But yes, so show me. What's up, Bob? Start the cooking.
And I just did it so I could get in, but I'm not that good of a debater. But basically, I wanted to, see your position on Hadith. So I know, do you believe that, like all of the Hadiths in Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim, do you believe that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ may have said some of them?
If there is some like some words aligning to what Prophet Muhammad maybe said, it would not contradict the Quran, and it's not necessary for guidance. But no, I cannot say to you that there's hadith that came directly from Muhammad, because you have now the concept of human nature, where some people will tell you their interpretation, some people will tell you what they think they heard, some people who have misheard, some people who have forgotten, but that's not the case with the Quran.
So but some hadiths, like for example, of the signs of the Day of Judgment.
Tell me
Have
one.
you? For example, one would be interest rates. That interest will become so abundant. The one who doesn't consume it, or the one that doesn't get involved in it, he will be affected by the dust. And that's a sign that has come true today.
Cool. And now, was that necessary for you to find guidance?
That's proof of his prophethood, you know.
I already know he's a prophet from the Quran.
Yeah, exactly. But this is like one, if you want to give dawah to someone, you say, how could he know the future? And there are also scientific miracles.
Am I inviting people to Muhammad, or am I inviting people to God?
Bro, that's literally the same thing.
Excuse me?
That's the same thing.
Can somebody follow Jesus and still be a Muslim?
You have to follow all of the prophets.
You can't follow all the prophets. You have to pick one.
No.
How do you follow all the prophets? Do you follow Moses?
Yeah, I do. If, for example, I get
nervous. Do you practice the Sabbath?
Could I say something? If, for example, I get nervous, I say, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli.
Who told you that?
That's in the Quran.
Who told you that?
What do you mean?
Prophet Muhammad.
Because Allah tells us to follow Muhammad.
Right. So you follow Muhammad. You don't follow Moses. Moses practiced the Sabbath. Would you practice the Sabbath?
No. Let me tell you something. Didn't you hear what I said?
You said you follow all the prophets.
Yes, I do.
Okay, but
they don't contradict each other.
Bro, God says very clearly, those that follow the Gentile prophet, okay? Those that follow Jesus, those that followed Moses. So there is a difference between following them, as God says that to each they have their curriculums. So you can't say you follow them all.
But obviously, you know, when you say keeping the Sabbath or like the Torah and stuff like that, I don't trust the Torah that we have today.
Brother, I think you're missing my argument.
I'm not. I'm not even sure what that is now.
So the argument started with, am I calling people towards God or am I calling people towards Muhammad? You said it's the same thing. And then I asked you, can someone follow Jesus and still be a Muslim and not follow the Quran? The answer is yes, because I'm calling people towards God and warning them of the Day of Judgment. I'm not calling people to submit to Muhammad or the Sunnah of Muhammad. If someone opts to follow the Quran and follow the blessed Prophet Muhammad, that is one way of reaching the straight path. But you can reach the straight path without using the Quran as well. So no, I'm not calling people towards Muhammad. I'm calling people towards God. But Muhammad has given me a book that makes that path extremely easy. He himself followed that path and I follow Muhammad. So you got it confused. So I do not need to prove Muhammad's prophethood to other people as da'wah. I need to prove to other people that the Day of Judgment is coming and they don't need to be idiots to each other.
So, but like we all have like role models in our life and stuff like that, and
Correct.
we should tell people, we should tell people that the best role model that we could have in our life is the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wassalam.
Why would I lie to people?
Who is the best role model to have?
Well, God never said that God never called him the best example, the best role model. So why are you doing that? So now your dawah is full of lies.
No, I don't want to go out and bring the Quran.
I'm inviting you to the truth. The verse that you're thinking about is in chapter 33. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةً حَسَنَةً فِي رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. You had a good pattern. Yeah, but it doesn't say you had the best pattern or the best example. Because the same thing was said about Abraham. لَقَدْ كَانَ لَكُمْ أُسْوَةً حَسَنَةً فِي إِبْرَاهِيمَ وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُ. You had a good example in Abraham and those that followed him. So it's not what you're saying. So if you're going to be calling people towards God, you should be calling people towards honesty and truth. If you're going to make up lies about God, you're not going to be successful.
But also, you know, I still believe that the Prophet Muhammad is the best example. because like we see with the Christians and the Jews and stuff like that, you know, I see that they're very much misguided, and we could be misguided.
Are you not misguided?
No, that knowledge is with Allah. But I wanted to say.
So what if I can prove from the Quran that you're misguided? Then God has given you the knowledge.
Could I finish?
Sure.
So like a lot of Christians, you know, they claim to have like the Bible, the Word of God, but also at the same time they do some strange things. For example, when they go to church, they turn up the music and they get drunk and they say we're worshiping Allah. Do you know what I mean? And if I, you know, went to a mosque and say, you know, we're only following the Quran, and I started dancing and I started saying Allah, 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 wouldn't you see that as a form of misguidance? Yeah, Sufi.
So are there Sunnis that do it then?
Sufis, they're very much misguided. They don't follow hadith, they follow their own desires.
Nice. Okay, so now I have a question for you. When you're going to go around and you say that women shouldn't be in public education and that women should be sitting at home and women can't go to mosques to pray, is that a form of misguidance?
Yeah, because that's contradicting what the Prophet Muhammad said.
What do you mean? There's a hadith that says that it's better for a woman to pray at home even if it's at Masjid al-Haram. There's a prayer. Yeah, so do you accept that hadith or do you reject it?
Yeah, but it also says to not how do I say it? To not say no to them of going to the mosque.
Yes, but is Muhammad telling them to stay at home?
Yes.
Okay, and but God says to them to stay at home, or does God say, "Ya Bani Adam"? That's for the messengers. That's the prophet's wives, not our wives. That's the prophet's wife.
And they are the best example for the believing woman.
No, God says, "Lastum ka'ahadin min nisa." You are not like the other women. The wives of the prophet is a little different, just like how the prophet himself is a little different. But when God says, "Ya Bani Adam, aqimu wajhakum inda kulli masjid," O child of Adam, which is both male and female, present your face at every mosque. So does that include women or not?
Yeah, but
okay, when God says, for example, "Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu idha nudiya ila salati min yawm al-jum'ah fas'u ila dhikrillah." Oh, people who believed, if it's called to the prayer of the congregation, then go and seek for the remembrance of God. Does all you who believe, does that include women and men or just men?
Well, this also includes, this is where hadith also could help us. Because, you know, at the time, there are certain areas and certain time of the day where it's not safe for a woman to go out. And that's the reason that the prayer of the woman in her house is better than the masjid.
So in the Muslim community, where people are a Muslim majority, it is not good for her to leave her house to go to the mosque because it's not safe outside. I understand. That's what happens in Sunni places.
No. This could be anywhere in the world. Like a crime could happen anywhere in the world. But if like the woman, you know, has her own car and she's going out at, you know, a responsible time, then that should be fine.
Okay, so but you didn't answer. You said that the Christians are deluded because of the practices that they practice, which seems like they're delusional, and they say that they're worshiping God. Yet here you are, right, telling me about practices in hadith that contradict the Quran, so I can make the same argument as you. Can you give me 1 second? Can you give me 1 second? Because I didn't make a mistake, and I hope it's still here. And I hope the sister is still here as well. Astaghfirullah. I've got a super chat in regards to a halal food, and what makes the food halal is the mentioning of God on it before it is sacrificed, because other than that it would be murder, and that's what's the difference between halal and non-halal. I wish you could post the verse again for me to read the verse together with you. Breaking news, this is from my brother Abu Sulaiman. Gay acts without ejaculation does not invalidate fasting according to Hanafi and Hanbali and Shafi'i. Source Al-Mughanni book volume 3. So of course these are practices that are in the madahibs that we say is delusional, but I think to you is your own. And that's true. Some people in the chat are also picking up on something that you said. I didn't want to say it, but you did say it. So girls, it's
What
only
that
it's good for a girl to have it's only halal if you have your own car, that
no,
for
no,
her
I
to go
didn't
to the
say that,
mosque,
but I
in the
say to
mosque in the
you,
morning.
it's not good for a woman to go out at nighttime or at large distances, for example,
Mm. And that
etc.
you know what? If my wife is the type of lady where she has no problem going to the mosque while I'm lazy sitting at home not going to the mosque, I'm pretty sure God has she has more advantage with God than I do with God, because she's more loyal and dedicated than I am. If I, as the husband, is sitting at home doing very little while she's out at the mosque for the Fajr prayer, well, more power to her. God protects his believers. So yes, so I trust in my Lord, and I expect my wife to trust in the Lord, even if it's a scary time or something where it might sound something bad that's going to be happening. We're going to trust our God, and we're going to go to the mosque.
I guess we
Taqwa,
shouldn't throw
tawakkul.
ourselves into. Does the Quran say that we shouldn't throw ourselves into destruction?
Where does it say that? It says, وَلَا تَلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيَكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَةِ, and do not throw your hands in destruction. So for me to go grab this and destroy it, this is not accurate. But to say, but God is clearly telling me to go fight in his way. So when I'm standing in front of arrows and swords and guns and tanks, isn't that me putting myself in harm's way? Come on, bro. These conversations of conservatism to conserve yourself is against what God is saying.
Could I also ask you, you're fasting for Ramadan, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is like my last question.
Yep.
How do you even know that it's Ramadan without hadith?
From the calendar, because you're going to strawman my position.
How do we? The Quran says we have 12 months.
Yes.
But does it mention all 12 months?
No, it mentions Ramadan by name. And if we're going to look at the Hijri calendar, this is where we find Ramadan. So when we're rejecting hadith, so you understand. So when we reject hadith, we reject the religious authority of hadith. So hadith is not necessary for someone to find his guidance. But having a map to find Mecca, that makes sense. For us to see a picture of a tree, that makes sense. But for someone to come and tell me halal and haram exists outside of the Quran, if I'm following the blessed Prophet Muhammad, that's rejected. That's what it means to be a hadith rejector.
That's fine, bro. And to people watching, don't fall for this guy. This is literally
you made excellent points. You've presented your presentation.
To everyone,
you've cooked me very well, and you're the one who's now making that statement.
This literally takes you out of the fold of Islam.
What is Islam?
Rejecting hadith.
What is Islam? The one who said that submitting to Muhammad is like submitting to God. That doesn't take you out of the fold of Islam.
Whoever has obeyed Allah has obeyed the Prophet.
Whoever obeyed the Prophet, the Messenger has obeyed God. Sorry. It's not whoever obeyed God has obeyed the Prophet. It shows where you are cognitively. Don't struggle now. Don't panic.
My bad.
I understand.
Okay, but
are you fasting right now?
No, I had iftar. It's 11 o'clock. Have a nice day.
All right. Have a nice day. Appreciate it. Astaghfirullah, bro. Okay, 1 second, guys. I'm going to see if I can if there's a fan in this place for me to use. Just 1 second. I wonder if I can open that. I don't think that works. Excellent. This will make a world of a difference, God willing. Guys, don't follow me because he said so. They do such an excellent excellent demonstration of their position and an exposition. And then when they make their points, they say, hey, guys, don't follow this guy. Because what I just told you makes absolutely no sense. Bro, these guys don't even know their own Quran. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. Alright, just give me a second. Where is this? All right, let's see who's next. Whew. Peace, everybody. Apologize. Yeah, Muhammad, wait in line. Yeah, Muhammad wants to come up. But wait, there's people before him. He's not even in the line. That was a lie. Okay.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم
رمضان مبارك. الله يسعدك يا رب. أمانة عليك ما تنزلني والله كرمال تطفالي
I can't. sorry ما
دعم طفل يتيم والله يكسبك حسنة بزيادة ويدعمك من الجنة. والله اعتبرني مثل بنتك ولا اختك. الله يسعدك وخلي لكم أحبابكم يا رب. أنفكم من غزة. والله أنا محتاجة بس كيلو.
طيب let me see.
يا رب يا
Sweetheart, are you there?
والله شكرا لك والله العظيم أنا ما مصدقة. الله يسعدك يا رب.
ما بحسن أنا أتبرع وأنا الهوست من هون. عم ثواني عم بشوف إذا في حدا.
تفضل.
Liana, are you there?
يا رب ما شاء الله. الله
Thank you,
يكرمه.
Kristen.
Appreciate
it.
والله أنا بدعي لك. أنا بخلي الأطفال الأيتام بتدعي لك. والله بننام بالشارع. الوضع عندك كتير صعب بس بنحمد الله. رمضان مبارك.
الحمد لله. جزاك الله خير. طب هاي الناس ساعدتك. ما بحسن أخليك. أنا ما بحسن أخليك فوق. هاي الناس ساعدتك. الله يرزقك. الحمد رب العالمين.
لو 1000 نقطة أقدر أجيب كيلو طحين. الله يكرمك. أمانة عليك.
يكرمني ويكرمك. سلامة يا أختي. أنا عفوا بس هيدا ما هو المكان لهذا.
لو 1000 نقطة حدا يساعدني. هاي
والله هي الناس ساعدتك. الحمد لله رب العالمين.
لو 1000 نقطة خليهم يكملوا لي 1000 نقطة. أمانة عليك. الله يخلي لك أحبابك ويسترك يا رب ويجبر بخاطرك يا رب. اعتبرني مثل بنتك. والله لو بنتك هيك والله بتساعدوني. أنا تعبت والله. أشوف والله إخواني بيناموا بالشارع. بتبهدلنا بالشارع والله العظيم. أختي والله لقيتها جبناها من الخيمة اللي يعني خيمة جيراننا. جبناها والله نايمة بالشارع. بفرجيها إلك كيف هيك العظمية. أنا تعبت. أنا نفسي أجيب خيمة. والله أنا لينا وضع كتير صعب. أنا حلمي وكل يوم بعيط ويحكي لي نفسنا نستشهد. ويختي بحكي لها ليه؟ بتحكي لي ليش ما تجيبي لنا كيلو طحين؟ ليش ما تجيبي لنا أكل؟
جزاك الله خيرا. الله يساعدكم والله يكون بعونكم والله ينصركم. سلامة يا أختي. سلام. ما بحسن يا أختي. يا أختي عفوا ما بحسن لو سمحتي لا تخجلين ياسمين. لا تخجلين. هاي الناس ساعدتك والحمد لله رب العالمين. الله يعطيكم.
خليهم يكملوا ل 2000 نقطة عشان أجيب أسحبهم. بس أمانة عليك. هاي قاعدين 500 نقطة وأجيب. الله يستركم. الله يكرمكم يا رب. أنا والله لو ياخد سيبني خليني موجودة. بحط ميوت اللي يساعدني.
ما بحسن ياسمين. أنا آسف.
ليش والله يا أخو؟ الله يكرمك.
لأنه هو النظام اللي أنا بشتغله هون. والله طالعتك لأنه أنا هون مشان المناقشات. أنا عندي ستريمز بس مشان بتبرع فيها بس مش هالستريم. جزاك الله خير. مع السلامة يا أختي ياسمين. الله يزيدك في الدنيا والآخرة. سلام يا أختي.
شكرا لك.
Alhamdulillah. Sorry guys, but I do donate onto other streams and they come here to ask. And yes, but the thing is, it's like I have a team that people in Gaza that verify the people that come up. So these individuals I can't verify, so I can't put my responsibility behind it. I appreciate you guys to helping her. She got the 1K that she asked for. All praise to God. So alhamdulillah bil alameen. But please, if you guys are from Gaza, this is not the place for it. I apologize. I have to make sure that the person is coming up is trustworthy And there's people that do that for me, so I apologize.
Alaikum, brother. I thought she was from Syria. I don't know much Arabic. Good luck to her. Sorry, what's going on in Gaza? What was I going to say? No.
Yeah, what's up?
I was going to say, mashallah, you're a handsome man. For a start,
Hey,
it's Ramadan.
I appreciate it.
But I'm saying that
I appreciate it.
mashallah, you're a handsome man. Like the situation.
I'm a handsome married man. So.
Oh, you're married. Okay, Safia.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Like your wife. Awkward.
Yeah.
But he has a wife. I didn't know he was married, but why I didn't know.
Okay.
Someone said,
I'm
yeah, you, Jay.
No,
Mashallah. But
no,
sorry. Brother,
okay. Do you have a question?
yes, my question is that if you were to reject a hadith, right? What are you gonna do with for instance, what time the prayer is already in the Quran, but for instance, like daily lifestyle, like it's not mentioned in the Quran. Ways to
The
get
what?
rewarded, close, like lifestyle. For instance, ways what way to drink, what way to wake up on, what to go into the washroom with,
But this is not religion. This is you idolizing a man on how he did things. Like if the Prophet ate 3 dates, it doesn't mean that the whole world has to eat 3 dates. What if you don't like dates? Does that make you a less of a human being? And if you wake up on the left side of the bed, does that mean that you started your day wrong? If you walk into the bathroom with your right hand or your right foot, does that mean now the devil is going to take over you? All of this is unsubstantiated.
but also okay. I'm just saying it's about lifestyle, right? And plus, isn't Islam incomplete without the Prophet? Isn't it La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah? You know what I mean? It's incomplete without him. So
That shahada is not a barrier of entry for Islam.
is it? How? All my life, that's what I've learned. So
Yes, that's what they
how can it
told you.
not be?
Okay, but that's not a good way of approaching life. If someone is telling me my whole life that the sky is... Sorry, I'm lagging again. Just give me 1 second. It's this side. So yeah, if someone my whole life is telling me that that the sky is green and the sky is not green, I can't be like, well, I've been told that my whole life, so how can it not be? See what I mean? Doesn't make sense. Are you there?
Okay, then I don't know. Yeah, I'm still here. Sorry, you were lagging.
Hmm?
You were
Yeah, I
lagging,
was.
so it's
Yes, I was. I apologize.
what you all my life, that's what I get it. Okay, that made you're saying it's not the truth, but look, I went to Islamic school. I went to a Sunni Islamic school since I was about 13. Okay, I'm 26.
And Christians have been indoctrinated at a young age to think that Jesus is the Son of God, and you know that that's not true. And they have the same argument as you. That's what I heard for my whole life, so you can't prove it wrong.
Okay, can you disprove it then?
Yes, in Islamic school that you have went to, have you ever heard of them saying that the Prophet would used to sit in a circle and review hadith with his companions?
No.
But he used to sit and review the Quran, correct?
Yes.
So one is essential and the other one was not essential for him to review. So one was the religion that he was teaching and the other one was his passing words. And those passing words is not what you're supposed to hold on to. You're supposed to hold on to the message of the messenger. The message was the Quran. The Quran has the answers to all things. Your hadith has the answer to nothing.
But doesn't the Quran need the hadith because it was sent to the Prophet, right?
No.
So without the hadith, how are you going to know the Quran's right?
So the hadith is explaining the Quran and the scholars are explaining the hadith, and therefore God sent a book that cannot be followed other than by scholars.
Someone wrote, oh my God, someone wrote the hadith are hearsays. Ay, bro.
They are.
That's a wild.
How's that wild? That's the truth. How's that wild? Someone said someone to someone who said someone to something to someone, and then that gets written down 200 years later. That's the definition of hearsay.
Okay, well, this is a bit too much for me. I'm gonna go ahead and drop. It was good meeting you, brother. Everyone in the
It was
chat.
nice talking to you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wa alaikum salam. Okay, yalla. Hit me with what you have.
Assalamu ala man taba al-huda.
I love when you guys start with that. Yes, exactly. Peace is upon who follows the guidance. What is huda?
Huda is the one who follows the Quran and Hadith.
Brother, what is huda? Define to me huda.
Guide.
Okay, and then does the Quran give huda?
Yes, also Hadith.
Okay, does the Quran give huda? Not also, that's not my question. I'm not asking you about hadith. Is the Quran by itself, can it give huda?
Not by itself.
By itself, it doesn't say that. Okay, so when God says, هذا huda, okay, this is guidance. وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا بِآيَاتِ رَبِّهِمْ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مِّن رِجْزٍ أَلِيمٍ. Let my lagging stop.
وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ.
1 second.
وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسُ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ.
Yes,
But
so هذا هدى والذين كفروا بآيات ربهم لهم عذاب من رجز أليم. So if I disbelieve in the hadith, is that ayatullah?
No. I'm telling you, Quran, it gives huda, but also Prophet Muhammad, Allah say in the Quran, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ.
Okay, so it didn't say anything about huda there, right?
هُدًى لِلنَّاسِ بَشِيرًا وَنَذِيرًا. Allah told Prophet Muhammad that he is
Brother,
huda.
no. أفمن يهدي أحق أن يتبع إلا أمن يهدى. أمن لا يهدي إلا أن يهدى. Sorry, this is in chapter Yunus. Is it more worthy? Sorry, I'm lagging 1 second.
Brother,
So
wait.
God says in Surah Yunus, is it one who can guide better to be followed than the one who cannot guide until he is guided? 1. 2, God says, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have not sent you except mercy to the people, right? So if Prophet Muhammad was sitting at home, okay, and he did not preach, is he a mercy to the people?
Where does it say that?
I'm asking you a question. If Prophet Muhammad stayed at home and he did not recite the Quran, is he a mercy for the world?
Yes.
How is he a mercy for the world if he sat at home and did nothing?
The day he was born, if you read the hadith, you will know what happened with the
I'm
world.
talking about the verse, brother. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. If he was not sent, then there is no mercy to the people. God sending a messenger, God sending the messenger Muhammad is the mercy. Muhammad himself is not the mercy.
Listen, do you know the day he was born, animals talk to each other? What did they say to each other? They say,
what they say?
Today is the day that Muhammad is born.
The animals knew that Muhammad was born.
Yes.
Which animals? Which animals?
All of the animals.
All the animals in the world, they figured out that Muhammad was born.
No. They tell each other, today, do you know what today is? Do you know what today is? Every animal. So he was
1 minute.
rahmatan lil
If
alamin.
I want you to follow the logic of what you said. The animals were telling each other that Muhammad was born today, right?
Yes.
So
Before he finished anything.
so the animals all collectively knew that Muhammad was born. So why are they telling each other?
No. The one who know, they telling each other, so the others also know. The whole world of the animal,
Perfect.
they tell it. Wait, brother, but I came here with
so the
question.
animal have the unseen. The animals know the ghaib, right?
Brother, I am here with one question, please. Can I ask you? Because this one question may change you, inshallah.
I don't need you to change me. What you presented is absolute disgenuine remarks, the lack of critical thinking, the lack of understanding the Quranic narrative, the idolization of a prophet, of one single man, and then now you're telling me that you're going to change me. What I'm on is better than what you're on, and yet you're inviting me to associate to God.
Brother,
Please present your question.
Brother, you need guide. So I'm here to guide you, inshallah.
I thought Muhammad was the guide.
Because I follow him. Now I'm the guide. Wait.
You're the guide now.
If you read the Quran, I'm gonna give you the verse. Everyone here, please write this down. 15 Quran 15:8-7. Allah say this. Allah say this in the Quran. وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي وَالْقُرْآنِ الْكَرِيمِ. That, O Muhammad, I give you وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي. I give you سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي. I'm not gonna tell you what is سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِي. And then he say, and I give you the Quran. So Allah in this ayah, he told Prophet Muhammad, he gave him two things. The first one is Sab'a min al-Mathani, and the second one is Quran. Tell me, what is Sab'a min al-Mathani?
It's the 7 oft repeated examples that are presented in the Quran.
So Allah gave him two things, right? He gave him Quran and Sab'a min al-Mathan, right?
Yes, but the word Quran, what does it mean?
No. I'm not at the meaning of the word Quran.
I'm answering you, but you need to follow the logic. What does the word Quran means?
That is the
okay,
word Quran.
Perfect. So the word Quran itself is a recitation, okay? And the great recitation. And I've also given you the 7 examples or the 7 oft repeated examples. So it does not necessitate that they're different or they're two different things. It can be a subset of one.
Brother, I'm from Tanzania. I learn Arabic Fasha. Waw al-Atfi. Do you know why Waw al-Atfi?
Does it have to be different things?
Waw al-Atfi, it means two different things. When you told the story,
okay.
When you tell the story, you tell this and then. So Waw al-Atfi, it means that you're talking about this and then you're talking about something else. So
perfect.
Allah
so
said,
1 minute. وَإِذْ أَخَذَ اللَّهُ مِيثَاقَ النَّبِيِّينَ وَمِنْكَ وَمِن نُوحٍ وَإِبْرَاهِيمَ وَمُوسَى وَعِيسَى. Okay? So is Nuh, Isa, Ibrahim, and Muhammad, right? And Musa, are they prophets or are they not prophets? And when we took the covenants of the prophets, and from you, and from Moses, and from Noah, and from Abraham, and from Jesus, are those 5 names mentioned not prophets? That's Waw al-Atf there too.
brother, you know, the only
Answer
thing
the question.
No. Oh, can you read that in Arabic?
Yes.
Read it again, please.
Yeah, sure. I'll bring it to you. Okay.
Allah.
Here you go. So the verses, right? Surah Al-Ahzab 33 verse 7. وإذ أخذنا من النبيين ميثاقهم ومنك ومن نوح وإبراهيم وموسى وعيسى ابن مريم. Okay? And I'm lagging 1 second. Subhanallah, I don't know why I'm lagging again. Thought I solved
وإذ
it.
أخذنا ميثاق.
Yes. And when we took the covenant, covenant of the prophets and from you. So is Muhammad not a prophet?
وإذ أخذنا ميثاق. You know, my English is not very good. That's why,
That's Arabic. وإذ أخذنا ميثاق من النبيين وإذ أخذنا من النبيين ميثاقهم ومنك ومن نوح. هنا الله استعمل واو العطف. أخذ ميثاق النبيين وأخذ ميثاق محمد وميثاق نوح وإبراهيم وموسى. هل نوح ومحمد وإبراهيم وموسى وعيسى هل هم أنبياء ولا لا؟
ميثاق is أحد, right?
Yo, follow the argument. You said that the waw al-atf, the conjunction, the and, it has to be two separate things. I showed you God saying the prophets and Muhammad. Is Muhammad a prophet?
Okay, brother, can we go back to my eye? Because, you give
This
me
is the argument. This is the argument. I need you to understand.
My
Answer.
argument is that Allah says in the Quran,
Yo, bro,
Muhammad, yes.
Listen to me. Is Prophet Muhammad a prophet?
Okay. Let's move on.
Is Prophet Muhammad, is he a prophet?
Yes, he's prophet, alhamdulillah.
Okay, and God says that we have taken from the prophets and from Muhammad. Does the waw al-atf have to be two separate things?
Yes.
So Prophet Muhammad is not a prophet.
From the moment Allah say, أَلَمْ يَجِدَكَ يَتِيمًا فَآوَى وَوَجَدَكَ ضَالًّا فَهَدَى. So he was not prophet, and then he was prophet.
We took from the prophets and we took from you. So when the prophets have been taken their covenant and we took from you, it would necessitate, according to your logic, that Muhammad is not a prophet because they have to be two separate things. Why am I lagging again?
Okay, brother, I'm agree with you.
Thank you.
It does not always mean that it's separate things, but I'm asking
Perfect.
this question.
So Sab' al-Mathani is in the great Quran.
Wait, please. Allah say, وَلَقَدْ آتَيْنَاكَ سَبْعًا مِنَ الْمَثَانِ وَالْقُرْآنِ. I give you, Muhammad, سَبْعَ الْمَثَانِ, and then I give you Quran. So tell me, what is سَبْعَ الْمَثَانِ?
It's found in the Quran when God is telling you about the 7 repeated examples. But you know what's interesting for me? That you want to go around to the mutashabih verses for you to give me your interpretation to say that the Quran is insufficient and incomplete, that it cannot be understood. Right? That's your whole argument right now, which I find it very interesting.
You cannot follow Quran without hadith.
So God says that the Quran, ما فرطنا في الكتاب من شيء. Is there something missing from the book?
Without hadith, yes.
Without hadith, the Quran is missing. So God lied.
Can I give you an example? Another one, please. And then you can remove me. Another question, then I'm finished. Please.
Okay, let's go to the mutashabihat. But wait, before you're finished, I want you to say yes or no to this. The Quran is not complete.
Without hadith, no.
Okay, so God says it's complete. So God is lying or you're lying?
Because Allah, He including the hadith when He said.
No, He never said. He said, actually, God says, تلك آيات الله نتلو عليك بالحق فبأي حديث بعد الله وآياته يؤمنون. These are the verses of God we recite to you in truth. And what hadith after God? So you're saying that the Quran has hadith after it.
Prophet Muhammad say, لقد
أوتيت القرآن ومثله.
أوتيت قرآن ومثله معه. Yes.
And in Surah Al-Isra, God says, وَلَوْ انجمع الإنس والجن ليأتوا مثل هذا القرآن لا يأتون بمثله. And if the jinn and the humans came together to bring something like the Quran, they can't bring something like it. And now you're saying that something has been given like the Quran. See how ridiculous your statement sounds right now?
Okay. May I ask you a question, brother?
I just wish you would answer one proper question, brother.
You know, we want to learn from you. You know, you have a lot of people who believe in you, so I'm very sad.
They don't believe in me. They don't believe in me. They believe in the Quran and what the Quran is saying. I'm simply just a voice of what these people already know. What's sad is somebody coming up here and saying that the Quran is incomplete. This is a true insult to God. But you're so entrapped with your lies that you don't even know that you just insulted God. That's the problem.
I'm gonna show you why. This question, the last one. Allah said.
But 1 minute. Can you understand that God said that it's complete and it's detailed and He left nothing outside of the book? You're the one who's saying that He did, or that He didn't. So you're contradicting God. You know that, right? So God says yes, it is. You're saying no, it's not.
For me, when you say Allah He completed, I'm saying with hadith.
Where does brother, this is your opinion. Show me from the book of God where God is saying that the hadith is what's completing the Quran.
This is why Allah said this in the Quran. And then you can show me if it is complete. Show me if it is complete Quran without hadith. In this verse, please. Allah said this in the Quran. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. My English is very pure. Listen to this. Allah say, Inna Allah, for indeed Allah wa malaikatahu and His angel yusalluna. He is praying ala nabi to Muhammad. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu.
Hey. God is praying to somebody?
Wait.
You wait with your shirk statement. I'm trying to warn you. God is praying to somebody?
Wait, brother, please.
Oh, God is praying to.
What does the mean of the swalla mean? What?
Here, communicate.
Oh, no, brother. Swalla.
Oh, pray.
Okay, praying.
What the word ala mean?
Ayah?
With the word ala.
Allah.
Does God do salah ala nabi or salah ila nabi? Weirdo.
Allah.
Yeah, so it means on. It doesn't mean to. You said God's praise to your nonsense.
Okay, Allah.
Stop telling me wait, bro. I'm. Astaghfirullah.
Okay, Allah say, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi. I'm saying my English is very pure. Please.
Yeah,
Allah praying on Muhammad and his angel. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. All people who believe, please. All people who believe, pray on him. So my question is, how does Allah praying to Muhammad? How does angel praying on Muhammad? And how should I pray on Muhammad according to the Quran?
So the verse that you're quoting there, God is telling you about how God is utilizing the messenger and He is the one who's communicating with the messenger. And for us to also to utilize and connect to the messenger and for us to submit submissively, وَسَلِّمُ عَلَيْهِ تَسْلِيمًا, right? So it doesn't mean for us just to say salam to Him. It's for us to submit submissively. So in certain situations, when you are put into a certain situation, you could say to yourself, very simply, astaghfirullah, this thing is still going crazy, bro. I don't know why. 1 second, I'm lagging.
How do I? Subhanallah. Ya Allah.
I don't know if this works. I'm at like 20%.
May Allah guide you all people.
Yes, sure. So, as I was saying, does God do salah on the believers?
If you ask me what does this ayah mean, I can give you hadith.
Yes, but wait, bro.
Sahaba
Your hadith doesn't even align with what the Quran is saying. I'm asking you something very easy. Yes or no? Does God do salah? Does God and his angels do salah on other people?
yes, according to
Who?
the Quran.
Who?
Hadith, I can tell you how.
Not from yo,
سأل
bro.
رجل للنبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم كيف نصلي عليك؟
Yo, Habibi, this guy's.
فقال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم.
Mm,
Brother,
mm,
I think I'm
mm.
lagging you too, and you don't understand me. But brother,
I do
please,
understand you,
brother,
but I want you to
please.
understand the question. You know what I asked you? Does the God and his angels, do they do salah on other than the Nabi?
Yes.
Who?
Even in the hadith, إن الله وملائكته يصلون على المستحرين.
In the Quran, does it say anything in regards to God doing salah other than the Prophet?
Yes, yes, yes,
Where?
yes.
What does it say?
إن الله وملائكته يصلي عليكم
Yes, that's
So
the
he will
verse.
remove you.
لِيُخْرِجَكُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ, right?
لِيُخْرِجَكُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ, yes.
Okay, so now we have the idea, understanding why God is doing his prayer on us, okay? To take us from the night, from the darknesses into the light. So God is also communicating and directly supporting and talking to the blessed prophet. So for us, we also have to understand from why God is connecting to the prophet. So there are certain situations from what we were taught about the prophet in the Quran, we can apply to ourselves. But not only him, to every prophet. Sorry, guys, this has been lagging way too much this time. Give me 1 second.
Wallahi.
That was a really weird conversation with this dude, man.
May Allah guide you all, brother.
Thank you. Yeah, may God guide you as well. Hasbunallah. Why is this giving me this issues? I've been trying to fix this. Close this now. Guys, I apologize, but this computer, I think it's not the internet provider, it's my computer. It's my computer that is failing me. I've had this computer for quite some time. I'm traveling, so I'm using my laptop, and when I'm using my laptop, it keeps dropping. I formatted my computer hoping that it works, but it won't. But I think this is it's not my phone, it's not the internet. I'm telling you, it's not the internet. I can see my things spike. I can see my CPU spiking to like 30%. But actually, you know what? It could be this. 1 second. No, it's using the hardware encoding. Give me 1 second, okay? I'll be right back on YouTube. No, it's not going to help. But I think this is a good... I am in the task manager. I could see that it spikes up to like 60% on CPU and then it crashes. But I'm telling you, I'm looking at the task. It's TikTok Live and OBS. At certain times, they just go really high and then it crashes. So that's what's happening. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to call it a night. This has been a little frustrating with the computer stuff. But next week, I will be back on my power machine, back in the studio that you guys are used to. So I'm going to be using that. I do have a bottleneck. It's this old computer. So I'm forced to use this laptop. Yeah, it is. It's the TikTok and OBS. It lags more when I have somebody on as well. So it's not just the general statements here. But I do believe anyways, it is time for me to get off. We have been together for close to 3 hours. When I get back to... when I do get back to, God willing, to my studio back in North America, I will have longer. No sermon tomorrow. No, I will be on the road. I'll be traveling, Marwa. So tomorrow there is no sermon. I apologize. Can we organize an IRL Hajj or Umrah trip? I already have one that is in the works. You guys can join the Telegram. Okay, you can join Telegram. My Telegram group. It's one word. Okay, our Lord is God. I'll put it right here. Okay, so we have a Telegram group, and we are organizing our annual Hajj, which we do every year. What we're going to do this year as well is the same. You can join our Hajj group, and hopefully you guys can experience what we experienced. The thing is, it's like it's the people who can get the e-visa from the Saudi government's website. So there's only, like, I believe a few set amount of countries that are capable of getting a visa on arrival that you could go for Umrah, and we can go there. So that's the Telegram group right there. So our Lord is God. There's also a discussion group, which I will repeat right now on the Telegram group, so that people can also see the discussion. We're planning to go in June, God willing. We already have some people signed up. It's something that I do every year. It's supposed to be done once a year, but there's nothing wrong with giving more for God, in hopes that God will guide us to what is better. So let me forward this to the believers chat. There we go. That's if you guys want to join a discussion and talk to like-minded people. Property NE 341. I appreciate you've just sharing my material, being here. All of this is you supporting me. If you guys want to donate to my foundation, which 100% of the money that we collect. Here we go again. Is it back? It's back. So yeah, 100% of the money that we collect, Believers Foundation, it goes to the causes that we're collecting for. It's called believersfoundation.net. Okay, so there's a .net at the end. What we have right now, we have a program where we're helping an orphanage in Uganda that houses close to 200 children, abandoned and orphaned children. We take care of their fooding, their schooling, and other supplies that they need. We've been doing this for about a year and a bit now, for 1 year actually. We have also a group that we help in Gaza directly. We have collected some money for them as well there. Then we have an initiative where we print Qurans, the Great Quran by Shu'aib Abdullahi. We have a Spanish Quran that my wife is working on, and we have a Polish Quran which we're going to distribute in North America and Europe for free. Of course, we're going to need your help to fund these projects. It's called the Believers Foundation. It's a charity group which with 100% transparency when it comes down to all our expenses. If there's anything in regards to travel, certain fees and stuff, I personally pick those up. I do not, 100% of what's donated is put to the cause. It's a registered foundation, both in the United... Sorry guys, I'm lagging again. So it's a registered foundation in both the United States and Canada. So it's 100% legit. All praise to God. I do invite you guys to do. What do you do as an occupation? I'm retired, but I was a computer developer. I still am a computer developer. I work as a programmer. So may God bless you guys. Thank you, Mehdi. Thank you, all my admins, Isa, Turkey, Marcus Suri, Marcus, all my brothers that are with me, Yera, my sister Yera, I love you, bro, and everyone else that's involved in this process. Thank you guys for joining, and all praise to our Lord who made this possible. Thank you for my wife for her support and all the love that she gives. Stay tuned because we're going to do bigger and better things, God willing, with the help of God. So thank you all for coming. Peace be upon you. Sorry, guys. YouTube, it shouldn't lag now. Yeah, bro, like... well, I don't know. They keep telling me that Satan is supposed to be locked up this season, but I keep getting these weird people don't want to tell me how I pee and that the Quran is insufficient. So crazy, bro. That was crazy. You guys keep telling me about my patience, but I promise you my patience is running out sometimes. Man, I just want to say some stuff to these individuals, but we got to keep it professional, you know what I mean? But I have to go. Thank you, YouTube. May God bless you all and keep peeing standing up, I guess. Peace.